Good evening, and this is the seventh episode of Pop Culture. I'm your host, 24 Eyes, and tonight I got an amazing guest. We have the writer of Wildman and author, the author of Wildman and the creator of the forthcoming project, Egg Beater. Everybody knows her as one of the most based women on YouTube, Ali. Ali, how are you?
I am okay. That was
Yeah.
a pretty great introduction, actually. Thank you.
Now we're going to be going over everything. And that's pretty cool. It's not very often that you get to talk to an author or a creator of a uh, cool comic book project, Egg Beater.
I
Uh,
hope it's cool.
it looks pretty cool. I mean, I already committed to getting a tattoo, and we haven't figured out what exactly. I don't. Oh, let's see. I want to share something right now. If I can get back to StreamLabs, I want to share the IndieGoGo page that we got right now.
I did work very hard on it, so.
So we got our character design. We have. See, I almost wonder if I should get the cross rolling pins. Should we do the character? I mean, because look, some of the art though, this is sick. This is amazing. Like this would be a cool tattoo too. Like the eyeballs popping out. I love that.
Well, the artist actually used to be a tattoo artist,
Oh,
so
very nice.
that probably explains part of that.
Hmm.
Hello, Polar Bear, the Chad.
Polar bear is part of the fishing community out there, and
Fishing.
yes, and he's a supporter of the Outcast Owls. Appreciate people
Like,
like Polar Bear.
like actual fish?
Yes, yeah. So one of the things that we do here on the Outcast Owl channel is fishing because we're Spokane local
Oh, that's
group.
cool. I love fishing.
So yeah, do some
I
trout.
have I have a fishing story.
Do you, ma'am?
I do,
Would you like? Would you like to share it?
if that's okay. I think
Let's
you'll find it hilarious.
let's go with it.
So obviously, if you can fish, you know how to prepare a fish that you've caught for eating.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, uh, in Colorado, I was hanging out with a bunch of like yuppie trust fund kids, and none of them had ever been fishing. And one day, and I was the only person in the house who worked, and they never bought food. Like with their money,
Oh
they
no.
would go out and like buy stupid stuff. Like anyway, I'm sure you can imagine. Well, one day there's no food in the house, and because they all ate the food that I bought, and I was like, oh crap. And then I remembered we lived down the street from a lake, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'll just go fishing, and then we can eat. And I
Okay.
asked them if we could um, we could all go fishing, and they were like, we've never been fishing. I was like, what?
Okay.
How do you not go fishing? Like, you live in Colorado. Like, we've been camping. What the fuck? And yeah, so I went and I looked in the garage, and it was one of their dad's houses, and there were no fishing poles in the garage. And so I was like, crap, I couldn't find anything. So I was like, I'll just go down with a net because there was a pool net and a bucket. Well, it was a like an igloo cooler, you
Okay.
know? And so I had my friend come down there and hold the cooler, and I just kind of walked into the shallows because in the shallows there were these huge, like carp looking fish.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll just try and catch it with my hands. Because at that point, that was my
Very good.
only option. I was like, I don't have anything else to catch him with. So I stood there in the shallows until like all the mud, resettled and all the fish came back. And I waited until one was like right in front of me, and it was so cool. I reached down and I just picked it up, and
So
it
you
was
just went
huge.
complete savage land. You. There
Yeah,
we go.
and and then it was huge and heavy, and for a second it didn't move, and then I was like, oh my god, I need to get it in the igloo fast. And so I drop it in the igloo, and my friend was like, oh my god, it's heavy. I was like, yeah, it will feed us. And like, so, So I carried back up the hill to the house, and I'm like, you guys, I caught a fish. Could you could you get it ready since I went and I caught it? And they were like, we don't know how. It's like, are you fucking serious? Oh my god. So I had to go up back and prepare the fish, and I was like, could you fucking cook it at least? They're like, we don't feel like it. So I cooked the fish too with like rice and lemon and garlic. Um, and that fish fed 5 people for 3 days. And
Oh,
I was
there
like,
you
I am Jesus. It was pretty great.
go. So you would be a good person to partner up with on Naked and Afraid. You're willing to get dirty to like make it happen.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd
She's like
be naked,
maybe.
but
I don't. Well, I mean, that's part of the survival thing of the whole thing. Like, I don't think anybody has fun. Like, I know that there's probably like a handful of dudes out there, like, yeah, go out there and be naked. Like, no, I think it would be like pretty terrible about day like 2 when you have to sit at like you're tired of sitting at like funny angles so you don't look awkward naked and like it's really hot and there's bugs and stuff and like it's cold or it's like really cold or whatever.
do they make you stay naked or can you like
Yeah,
make your own clothes?
well, I mean, oh yeah, you can make your own clothes out of like whatever tree branches or turtle shells or coconut shells that you could find.
Oh,
But you
okay.
start out, I mean, you start the adventure naked. Like they drop you off in the middle of the wilderness with one tool of your choice and you're naked.
Oh, okay. I'd take a hatchet.
Yeah, some people take like survival knives. There's kind of like cheater things, you know. Like some tools are like multi-purpose, so you can do multiple things with them.
Yeah, but
Uh,
have you ever read the book Hatchet?
yes, but it's been like a good minute.
That is why I would take a hatchet is because of that book. Because it would do everything I needed.
Oh my goodness. I really wonder like what's going to be on the curriculum for my son when he's growing up like going to school cuz like I was like forced to read because they're whatever, you know, I'm not forced to read because I didn't like reading, but forced to read like specific books because of the curriculum. And I'm
Yeah.
like glad I read those books. And I think it's like a tragedy that like some of those books are disappearing off of, you know, disappearing out of curriculum, disappearing out of libraries and stuff.
Yeah. I hope some of those kids have good parents who are like, hey, you should probably read this, you know, or that homeschooling has gone up like 500%.
Well, and well, homeschooling is a whole like way more dynamic thing than it used to be. I mean, depending on your child's age and what resources are in the area that you live in, but there are multiple like there's group settings that can go on. There are lab settings and stuff. Like one of my best friends, he has his kids all homeschooled. He's in California, so they have a bunch of options where he's at, and he's able like his son's able to do like metal shop and wood shop through like kind of like a charter school kind of thing set up, whatever. He's able to do that class there and have the access to the materials and the resources and the tools and stuff to get
Yeah.
the appropriate education. But then the rest of his courses are at home and on the computer.
It's definitely better than it used to be homeschooled for sure.
Yeah, I just think you have to make sure that you have your kid in other things like being socialized. Because I had one friend growing up that was homeschooled, and he wasn't socialized appropriately, and it affected him in high school and into college, and like probably is the reason why he's married to now.
Oh no. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, but like that's another reason why it's better to be homeschooled now cuz like you said there are groups, you can get with and um
Well,
stuff.
like my daughter's autistic, right? So it's sometimes depending on the state, like especially around here, and I have a coworker that I work with that also has an autistic child, and like around here, homeschooling is a much better option for an autistic child. Just you get the appropriate therapist in the house, as much as you can during the week, and then the education usually is better handled because you can keep like the consistency going for the child.
Yeah. And then make sure like that nobody is
interfering.
Um,
I used to get like people trying to like adjust my daughter's like lunch and stuff. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like I measure out my daughter's food because she has stomach issues, and like if you like fuck with it and give her something or allow her to do something that's not in her lunch, like you're fucking with my whole meal plan that I got for her that keeps her like happier and healthier.
yeah. Um, or like you hear horror stories in schools where they just like, if they can't handle a student like that, they just like lock them in a room or something.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh, I would lose it. I don't even. I just watched a news thing about some lady who was like beating the crap out of children in a daycare in like Florida,
Oh
and I
my
was,
God.
I was like, oh no, can't remember if it was on YouTube, Twitter, where it came from, but all I know is I was very angry instantly. Like this lady like slapped a baby that was in like one of those baby
Oh,
swings.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, how how I was like speechless. Like what just happened there? What just
Yeah.
happened there?
Like, pardon me? Oh my God. I
Oh,
hate people
that
sometimes.
is I hate that. And then the other thing I hate is people who take their kids to like 7-Eleven and use food cards to buy them a large slushy, two bags of candy, and a bag of chips, and they're like 3 foot tall.
Oh yeah, and then they're like, it's really hard for me to eat well.
I
It's
mean, like
like,
a slice of pizza would have been better than any of that. But you literally just
yeah.
gave your kid like 10 times the amount of sugar that they need just in the drink, and then you gave them candy, and then you gave them chips, so you just calorically blew them up out of the park.
You're like, it's not Halloween, okay?
I don't know. Like every once in a while, you get like a sundae or something, or you go to like Dairy Queen. I mean, Dairy Queen's terrible because it's like fake ice cream. It's frozen yogurt, like frozen milk or whatever, and it's just a bunch of sugar. Regular ice cream's a little bit
But
better,
it's
but I mean,
it's
like,
better than like
yeah,
candy.
no, yeah, but it's better. Yeah, but I mean, like, that's something I do every once in a while. I try to like keep it as clean as possible for the kids, and and keep their diets expanded as possible. Like my son eats okra and stuff.
Oh God, he eats more vegetable-y than me even. Although
Yeah.
I guess I can't talk. I am the cauliflower ice cream chick after all.
Cauliflower ice cream. Have you? Okay, so these are your recipes. Have you like made like perfected it like for yourself, or is this something
Um,
that you're buying from the
I
store?
I actually no, I got the recipe offline. Um, and I make it myself because they don't sell it, I don't think. Um, but it's so good. Like,
I've had cauliflower pizza crust and didn't think it was too bad. I have not
no,
had
it just tastes like
cauliflower ice cream.
regular pizza crust. Like you can't tell the difference at all.
Hmm.
I
But
can't
I mean,
anyway.
on the ice cream, what are we talking about? Ice cream, like texture wise, is it mess? Is there anything iffy about it?
I don't think so. Honestly, it kind of acts more like gelato.
Okay.
Um, so it's a little bit different, but it's still like smooth, because you
So
blend it all and stuff.
what are you flavoring it with? Are you putting are you dropping in fruits in there? Are you dropping in chocolate
So
or
the
cacao?
first time I made just straight up vanilla,
Hmm.
and it was like vanilla flavoring and vanilla bean extract and um uh then coconut milk, and then you get like sugar-free maple syrup.
Okay.
Um and that's what gives it like whatever sweetness.
I would almost, I don't know, wait, but sugar-free maple syrup's made with like corn syrup. I would rather just have like regular
No,
maple
no,
syrup.
I get the like natural
Okay.
maple syrup that doesn't have the corn syrup
Oh,
in
it
it.
doesn't have
No.
the added sugar or.
No, no. It's the stuff that like tastes, kind of like a treat. Um, and then sunflower seeds. The original recipe called for like almonds, but I can't eat nuts, so That was the first one I made, and it was really good. And then the second one I made was pumpkin spice ice cream.
Yeah.
And I replaced the sunflower seeds with pumpkin, and then did everything else the same. Oh, and used pumpkin spice instead of vanilla.
Okay.
And that was really good. But recently, I started making cake batter flavored ice cream.
Okay.
Uh, oh my god.
Isn't that? I mean, isn't the cake batter like defeat? I mean, what do you? How do you flavor it to make it taste like cake batter?
They make cake batter flavoring kind of like they
Oh,
make vanilla extract.
yeah. Okay.
So, it's just a flavoring, but
Hmm.
oh my god, it's so good.
No, you can get like flavorings like that for like beers and stuff. I'll brew my own beer every once in a while. It's been a couple years, but I was thinking about doing a new one. Oh, it's so much better when you like make your own stuff. Like if you can perfect a good, like if you just, sometimes it takes a little bit, a couple of batches or a couple of tries, but like if you can perfect something and make it at home, and like that's my preference, is because then you can just stock up on it. You can make it inside of
Exactly.
a like tub, and you can throw it in the freezer, and you're good to go, and it's cheaper and it's better.
Yeah, I make a gallon of it every time. It doesn't last me very long, but it only has like 27 uh, carbs in the whole gallon.
And look at this guy. Look at all this. Like, listen, he's telling you to turn on your camera. He's trying to kick me. Not all, and he's criticizing my Mad Dog 2020. You know what, Andy? Not all of us, own multiple businesses and like, deal like have the ability to just, drink Cuddy Sark anytime they want to. Some of us are, maybe Friday's our payday, so maybe, we're just, having a nice little light drink for the stream. Yeah, like the attitude of some
He's
people.
a grown up. He can have whatever he wants, man.
No, Mad Dog 2020 is probably like some of the worst shit on earth. I don't even know what this is made. It probably doesn't even have like corn syrup in it. It probably has like something something else. Like I don't know. It might be made from like the poop water that they like, use in or in China to cook street food.
Oh God, that
Have
sounds
you heard
gross.
about that? They strain the so there's like a process where you collect from the sewers, like the poop water or whatever, and then you like strain all that stuff and boil it out, and then you get
Oh
the
no.
fat out of the sewage, out of the poop, and then use that to make cooking oil that is then used to make people's, you know, street food. So, depending on where you're at in China, may or may not want to eat street food. Same
Oh,
thing in
that's so gross.
Thailand, but for different reasons. In Thailand, you just don't, I mean, like, you just have to be open to a lot of things like bugs and like fermented shrimp paste.
Oh my God. Why are you doing this?
uh, we're both
It
having a
grows
drink
me
tonight.
out.
We're both having a drink tonight, and one of the coolest things that you can get over in Asia is like the snake wines, the sakes that they make.
Mm,
Um,
I like
it's not
sake.
it's not called sake in Korea, but it's a rice wine in Korea, and they
Okay.
have one that has like a cobra, like a literal cobra, in the bottle, and has cobra venom in it. And it's the same thing in Japan. They have habu sake, and it's the big giant jar. And if you go to like the bars and stuff, and in some places you can buy the jar, but I mean it's a couple $100. But you go to the bar and they'll have the full coiled snake in the jar, the big like a big things out and everything. And the sake is brewed with the snake venom in it.
Oh, weird.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like what it does is it strips your stomach lining, like that protective layer, right? And then
Um,
um, the alcohol absorbs faster, right?
uh-huh.
So the first time I drank it, I had a very extreme reaction to it. I broke out across my forehead and my back and my shoulders.
Oh.
After that one time, I didn't have any other like allergic reactions to it, and it's always been a good time.
Best seafood. I like shrimp. I make my own shrimp. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't make the shrimp, but um, I make my own like shrimp scampi so that I can use as much garlic and lemon as I want. Oh, Wolverine. I'm just gonna make Ellie some yogurt, but not exactly yogurt, but also kind of look like yogurt. That's from a song.
Mm.
Pho is the god of all foods. My
Pho.
my tattoo artist makes a T-shirt that has like a cute little chibi noodle bowl,
Hmm.
and it says, "I'm Pho King Awesome."
But it's pho.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
pho.
I didn't know that. I'm
I
retarded.
only know this because I spent enough time like in certain parts of California where there's like high Asian
Oh,
populations, and they like
well, see that
corrected
that makes it even funnier because it's actually like the sound it makes.
it. I love it. What I love about it is like I'm a big like heat and spice kind of person, and you can just like pour like an unlimited amount of like sriracha sauce into it. You can pour an entire bottle in there, and it still like will taste delicious. There's something about like the mix of spices and then like the length of time that the various things like sit in the broth that like is just so flavorful that you can just put like nuclear heat in it and still have this delicious bowl of food.
That sounds weird. I don't really like that stuff.
You don't like any heat? A non-heat person. You
No,
said you would do the bacon challenge with us when we were
I don't
doing.
like noodles.
Hmm.
I ate noodles. I'm not a vegan or anything, but I don't eat noodles anymore or bread or anything like that.
I don't either to that much. Like I will get a bowl of pho or whatever every once in a while. But like I'm probably like I'm a quarter Sicilian. I'm probably like one of the worst Italians ever because I don't like eat any kind of spaghetti. I don't eat like any kind of macaroni and cheese stuff. I don't like I pretty much have cut the majority of it out because I just find that like all that noodles and stuff and like rice, it just gives me like a bunch of inflammation in my joints and stuff.
Sure. So, Arby's. I can't eat Arby's anymore because one time, so you know how if you go to Arby's and you buy something, they'll give you a receipt and on the back of it there's a number, and if you call the number and you leave a review, you get a free sandwich.
Hmm.
So I was doing that like to eat for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
And I went there once and they were making the sandwiches without gloves on, just like with their hands like touching
Oh yeah.
the meat, and I haven't been able to eat Arby's since then.
I worked. Here's a confession. When I was in college, for a short while, I did work at Arby's, and yeah, Arby's is terrible. I mean, I just I worked two places that make me not want to eat Arby's. So one, I worked at Arby's, and I was like the person that made all the sandwiches and stuff. And then secondly, I worked in a meat factory where we made the meat for Arby's. So when you get it at Arby's, you get this frozen block of something, right? But it's kind of brown or whatever. You throw it in the oven, and when it comes out, and when you throw it on the meat slicer, it looks like a roast beef sandwich, right? But when you're making it in the factory, before it's frozen, it looks like a gelatinous cube
Mm,
of stuff.
delicious.
You know, how, like there's speckles and spam or whatever. It's like that, but a lot more translucent.
Oh, lovely. Thank
There's
you for that.
so there's actually only 13% actual roast beef, or there's like 13 little chunks of actual beef that are like shredded up and mixed into that, and the
Hmm.
rest of it is just like bakes into what looks like a cube that slices out into what you think is roast beef.
Well, I'm glad I don't eat there anymore
Well, I mean, this is the thing though. At least it's made with like animal byproducts, like bone marrow and stuff like that. So that's actually not terribly unhealthy for you.
then. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison to other things. The preservatives in it, however, those are the ones that are bad. Yeah, it turned me off of Arby's pretty hardcore for a long time, and then I got older and I stopped caring after going overseas. Like I'm pretty sure that I have some kind of cancer from just the anti-IED radio wave devices that were like on our Humvees and stuff.
Oh, lovely. That sounds awesome.
Well, this is the thing. If you touched it, right? Like this thing projected this radio wave field around the entire vehicle. So that was to stop any radio signal stop, from someone pushing a button from far away to like blow us up. It would block the signal of the
Wow,
bomb.
really?
Yeah. And this was on
Huh.
the thing. But if you touched the antenna, you could cook your arm like a hot dog and in like 20 seconds.
Oh,
Like permanently do damage like cooked meat in your arm.
joy.
So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe there's some kind of radiation and like here in like 50 years there's going to be like some class action thing on class action lawsuit thing on TV or whatever. Were you a part of this war generation? Do you have cancer? You know, did your hair fall out? Did your balls grow 3 times the size? Something.
Oh my.
You know.
Yeah, I don't eat fast food too much anymore. It's like not fun. It used to be kind of fun, but
It used to taste better. It used to taste better. I got to like a certain level of eating really clean and stuff, and now like it makes me mad sometimes when you go like for a cheat day and you're like, I remember this burger tasting really good, and then you go to Burger King and you take like 3 bites and you're like, the fuck, and then you're mad because you just spent $14 on Burger King and you took 3 bites and it tastes shitty. Like,
I wouldn't go to Burger King, but
I'm
that's just me.
like, Steak and Shake, Waffle House.
Yeah, Steak and Shake is pretty okay. They have a garlic steak burger that's pretty good.
100% pull it, bro. I'm telling you.
It's ready for driving a microwave around.
I mean, it just you know what I mean. Like, it's really weird to me that this thing can like emit radio waves right around me, but I can't touch the pole and it without like getting my arm cooked. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on there.
You're like, I'm no nuclearologist, but
Uh, just my limited knowledge of things on the earth with my limited education. I mean, granted, I am a jarhead. I'm a Marine, and if I was more intelligent, I could have picked something else that would have given me a better civilian career.
well,
But there wouldn't have been all the glory of being a Marine.
yeah, that's true.
Hmm. No, I mean, like, so it's crazy the Afghanistan thing that's going down, and I just want to touch on it just for a second. I just like I'm still blown away that we literally have thousands of fucking Americans stuck over there right now, on top of tens of thousands of people that we should extract because we owe them like a debt of gratitude. Um, but yeah, like that was one of the places I did my last tour out of the 3 tours I did was in Afghanistan, and it was during 2010. We did the push through Marja, and it's just incredible. It's incredible like how quickly like history can change and the whole map can like the whole it's a game of risk and like it's politically crazy what's going on in the world. I feel bad for all our Aussie friends. I know I've heard you say that too. The motherfuckers are getting snatched in Australia. I don't know what's going on in there. It's become fucking wild land out there.
Yeah, I definitely support anyone who wants to like buy a yacht or something and go and rescue these poor people before it gets like really bad.
I liked Kenan and Kel. That's a good point. Nickelodeon does need to bring back Kenan and Kel. But
Yeah, who
I
is
think
on
didn't Kel
Saturday
get
Night
shot though or
Live?
something? Kenan's on Saturday Night Live, but didn't Kel get shot in the hood?
What?
I'm pretty sure Kel got shot. Like he went home to visit or something and got shot. I could be
Oh
wrong.
my
I'm gonna look it up.
god.
Let me Google it.
I
I do have a
is he dead?
Kel got shot. I'm just gonna put that in Google.
Oh my.
What happens? Whatever happened to Kel from Keenan and Kel, as explained. Here we go. Why did Kel? Let's see.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was so cool.
Oh my God! The coolest part was I was a little pyro. Was like the beginning where they threw the dust into the fire and then it clicked into the story. I love that. Oh man, kid shows were so great when we were kids. Do you remember David the Gnome? That was another like
Oh
one.
my god, I love David the Gnome. Ah! When other kids were watching like uh I don't know, stupid stuff like I don't know. I didn't like He-Man and stuff.
Mhm.
That's what I was watching was David the Gnome and his friggin' awesome deer and
Mm.
stuff. Oh my god. I love David the Gnome.
David the Gnome was cool. I liked how they did the hats, or was he the boot repair guy? There was someone they had gnomes that did hats. They had the dudes that did the boots. He did boots, right? David did the boots.
I think so, yeah.
Mhm. Man, I used to watch that. Did you ever watch Paddington Bear?
No, not really.
Ah, missed out on it, huh? I had Paddington Bear growing up, and like, I had a great grandmother that used to eat marmalade, so I would have marmalade sandwiches and watch Paddington Bear with her.
Aw. I never tried marmalade until I tried it with coconut shrimp,
Oh yeah,
and that was really good.
Salute Your Shorts. I remember Camp Salute Your Shorts. That was great. Pete and Pete was another great one, but really, really odd. But then, I mean, I don't know. That was the 90s. 90s had some very experimental stuff before it started getting crazy like it has nowadays. Nowadays, I'm worried like that it leads to some kind of weird, like, like that kid that like goes to the fucking nightclubs, Devin, whatever his name is, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that poor kid.
The little drag queen kid that they like have allowed to be drugged and like exposed to things that he should have never seen.
Mhm.
Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy is fucking amazing because that show is so incredibly gross and it was fucking. I don't know if it was good for girls, but as a little boy, like Ren and Stimpy was amazing.
I wasn't allowed to watch it, so
Oh, you know what? I had a friend growing up that wasn't allowed to watch Pee Wee's Playhouse. Were you allowed to watch that?
um my dad said we watched it, but I don't remember watching it.
Oh, what? Do you remember any of the movie? Did you watch any of the movies?
Uh I watched the creepy Tim Burton one.
Okay. Who watched the 3D TGIF? Doug, Rugrats. Oh, I do remember Doug and Rugrats. You know what's you? I have a fucking huge beef with the furry community. Those sons of bitches, those motherfuckers, have done things to Rocco's modern life that is just
Oh
can't
my
be
god.
unseen.
I don't want to
Can't
talk about it.
can't be unseen. I can't unsee it, and for that I will ever, like that alone is just enough for me to commit a holy, act a holy war on you. Like fuck out of here.
Here, who said I'm not gonna turn on my camera tonight, but here, I'll share a picture of me. Okay? I'll share a picture. Are you ready? It'll be amazing. You'll be like, wow. There you go.
Hmm. We're ad stream. There we go. I
There
mean,
you
it's
go.
not like you're never not on stream. It's not like.
Yeah, I'm on my channel all the time.
Oh no! Oh, see, is that how it is? It's just not good enough yet. I have not met the mark, ladies and gentlemen, to earn maybe appearance two, maybe appearance three.
No, I just had a really bad day, so.
Do you remember that song? It was like, who was that feeling? I had a bad, or no, it was a guy, but it sounded like a girl. More '90s stuff.
What? If
Like it
you
was
had
like
a
the
bad
line.
day,
Yeah,
you take it one time. I don't know the song.
what was that
I was
train?
I I don't know. I was
Hmm.
listening to not terrible music, so
I was listening to you on your YouTube channel from time to time. We'll play a video of a record of you'll play a song for people off of a record, off of the vinyl.
yes, I do, 'cause I have like 300 vinyl records and counting.
When did you start your vinyl collection?
When my dad died, I inherited all of
Mm-hmm.
his vinyl. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take them all because he had several thousand
Oh wow.
in his house, and yeah, I went through every single one. It was very difficult, and kept close to 300, and then now I bought a bunch of my own because I also inherited his sound system and uh record player and stuff.
Oh, okay. So you have a quality, old school, like top of the line electronics, but back in the day, like record.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I've
so
got
you don't have to go
wooden
with this bullshit that you have to buy from Target now and Amazon.
yeah, I've got wooden speakers and everything, so they're really really good.
Yeah, if you don't, one of my favorite things, we used to have these when I was growing up, and my dad bought two of them. They're antiques, but they're like all built into one, right? And you open up the top of it, and it looks like a chest of drawers. And you open up the top of it, and it's
Oh
got the
yeah,
record
yeah.
player and the 8 track and the radio in it, right? And then like the front has got the speakers with the actual cloth and stuff on them.
Yep.
Oh God, yeah, the quality of like those and like getting the right needle and stuff. I'm not a snob when it comes to like the actual vinyl itself. In fact, I think that it's like probably better as long as you don't have a remastered version to have a new clean version of vinyl because it's
Sure.
not warped or whatever. But that's the only thing I'm looking for is the original version. I just don't want you to remaster it. Don't fuck with it. Otherwise, I want a new record because I want it to play as clearly as possible.
Well, fortunately, music was like my dad's life. He was a radio DJ and stuff. So all the records were in impeccable condition. Um, in fact,
Okay,
the original Star Wars record that I have of the soundtrack,
yeah.
I'm not even sure he ever listened to it, quite
I don't
honestly.
even know if you should have gotten rid of that record collection. Is that record collection from him being a DJ? Is that why he had that?
Um, some
Like
of it
from
was, but
oh,
all the ones that were, um, the kind that is just given to the radio
hmm
stations,
yeah.
I did keep all those. So like I have a
Okay.
Tom Petty one of those, and um, a bunch of 45s too of all these like weird, rare
Do you have
cuts of.
any tapes of him from being on? Like any old like radio footage or for footage sound?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
oh,
I have hundreds of them. The tapes I am putting on my YouTube channel. I have two of his shows up there from when what it was like the mid '90s,
oh,
and
cool.
he worked at a pawn shop, but the town was so small that the radio station ran out of the pawn shop.
Okay.
So yeah, so he ran all of it, and
Oh my God,
the
that'd be the greatest fucking reality show ever. Pawn Stars radio show. Oh.
it's listening to it is strange. The last show that I uploaded, um, it was weird because it was all he played that whole show was Grateful Dead, like the whole time. He didn't play anything else,
Okay.
and I was like, oh wow, okay.
Oh
Oh
my
man, and
goodness. Do you have
Polar
any
Bear.
did he ever keep like any journals or anything? Do you have like any like
Oh yeah,
studio notes or anything to go
yeah,
along with
yeah.
any of this?
I have
Oh.
a stack of it. And first when I first saw the studio notes, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because it made no sense. It was just like lists of things, and then I thought about it. I was like, "Oh," because there were like band names, down the margins and stuff. So yeah, I have all that. Um, I don't know what to do with it. Is the thing. Like, what do I do with that?
Mm. I
Um,
mean,
it's
I think
weird.
you compile it into like I would compile it into a picture book, like something you could keep, like as like this was like because I think that you'll probably appreciate it more the more that you do different things. Like you're you're an author and you got this comic book and it requires you to be more vocal and more present in different places and stuff and kind of like in our scene, you're seeing it like the kind of CG scene. You are kind of like doing a radio show, and you are, so I mean, there might be
He
some like valuable stuff in there.
He's definitely more, or he was definitely more talented than me, though. Like, funnier and stuff. So I don't know if I could compare it, but
I don't. I mean, the thing is, though, like the way things are with the current climate, you just being you works perfectly fine because people are gonna have a reaction to you, and it's so funny to 9 times out of 10 like that. You know what I mean. You don't have to be the funniest person because it literally it's just like there's like, oh god, you say something, and then I just like I can hear the crack in the other woman's voice when she's
oh, when I school women for being
yes,
stupid,
when you go
yeah.
full based, when you go
Well,
full based.
if they didn't make it so easy, I wouldn't do it.
uh, Unironically, I mean, this is the thing. You need to watch Ali, and you need to hear her words and heed them because she's not always like. If it sounds based, it's legit. It's not a joke. It's a real. It's a real sentiment. And so, like, that's the funny part. Not the fact that you were making a joke, but the fact that all hell's about to break loose because you just said those words.
Well, you know how I am. I just women are so stupid and they won't shut up. And then when they're wrong, it's like it's so easy to call them out and they bitch about it.
Hmm. I'm over here blabbing away. I forgot to ask, who is she? What is she selling? And how can I support the projects? Well, sir, let me explain to you how you can support things. If you go down to the description of this very live stream as we speak, you will find the links to Twitter, YouTube, IndieGoGo. You will also find a link to Amazon where you can find Allie's novel. And
Oh no, don't buy it from Amazon though.
okay, where
Um,
should they buy it?
it's on my Etsy store. You can get it
Okay.
for cheaper, and I'll sign it, and it'll be sent in better packaging.
Well, you can choose to purchase from Amazon and get a shittier product, or you can get a signed product from the Etsy store, which is also listed in the description,
Okay. Yeah,
along with her StreamLabs. So if you just think that Allie's a great person and you just want to give her a tip for being such a cool
oh my
person and
god,
coming on the show, you can do
you're
that too.
reading the descriptions in my videos.
You can
That's so
check it out.
nice.
No,
I
yeah, well, yeah,
wonder.
no, I do. Like, I try to plug my guests as best as possible. If you had a link tree, we would have that in there too.
Well, I won't e-bag, so I never like advertise that stuff. I'm just like, if somebody reads it, hooray.
Well,
So
it is. It's all in the description of this episode. But
yeah,
real quick, let's just share the screen because it is pretty fucking cool. Is
what
it?
is?
I mean, the artwork for this artwork that's been shared for your project
Oh,
ABR.
for egg beater.
Yes, and the link for this, you can sign up for this so that you can get in early. And if you get in early, you get like a cool trading card.
Here,
Um,
I'll open some better photos of egg beater since those are on the
on the
IndieGoGo page. They're kind of like weird. I'll share some better ones.
let's do that.
Here we go. There you go.
Well, oh, so this one of these images, we haven't decided which one. One of these images will be tattooed, featured on my leg. So I've just decided what I'm going to have is a CG sock. I have not tattooed my legs at all, and so we're going to start with the right cat, like the right side. We're going to start with the lower half of the lower sock, right area. Um, I do have one tattoo on my foot. It is a misfit skull with a grenade around it.
Nice.
But the two tattoos I have planned currently is Dan Eagle's Goblin Girl because I have a Coop tattoo, and there's just something about Dan's art that is like prolific and reminds me of like hot rod kind of shit, and like it reminds me of like Coop style stuff, and it's good, and he's so fucking badass. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a Goblin Girl tattoo, and then we're gonna do an egg beater tattoo, and then I don't know, we'll see what
Well,
else happens.
I'm very honored that you would want an egg beater tattoo. I did not draw this. My artist is Vinny Scatina. I simply came up with the concept and the story, and I write the script and pay him.
We got Michael T in the chat with Wolvo. Oh, thank you very
Heck
much.
yeah.
You're doing the coloring for this?
No, no, no.
Well,
The book itself, the comic is going to be grayscale.
okay,
Um, the only thing I'm coloring is the trading cards.
okay,
Because I'm using fan art for the trading card, like good fan art. I'm using for the trading cards.
okay.
Um, and all the fan art that I've been sent is in black and white. So I'm just coloring it myself.
So, what's the story behind Egg Beater?
Egg Beater is a horror slasher comic. It's basically Gordon Ramsay mixed with the Punisher.
You donkey!
Yeah, but with like puns. So
There
yeah.
we go. I love.
His name is Eric Hatcher. He lives peacefully with his wife and children, in his little bakery until his family's murdered. His bakery's burned down, and his body is severely disfigured. The gang members pour boiling donut oil all over his body.
Oh,
And he goes
savage.
insane because of it. So he creates his own weapon, an old hand cranked egg beater, and he puts let me zoom in so you can kind of see. He welds these like razors onto it.
Ooh, yeah.
Um, so when he's cranking it, it goes like like that. He also, as you can see, he dual wields these rolling pins on his back.
Oh, so he bludgeons people.
Yeah,
Savagery.
he can do all sorts of stuff. Well, they're rolling pins, so he can roll their neck. Like one of the deaths is like he rolls his neck so hard that his head pops off. Um, yeah, and so he's out to get revenge, and he goes on a killing spree. It's gonna be full of gore and puns.
Ooh, What's the death to page ratio?
Um, I don't know. He does kill 13 people because that's a baker's dozen.
Oh, there we go. So 13 guaranteed wonderful deaths.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a ninja with a pencil in the audience. He's an artist too. I know he'll
Hello.
appreciate some of these things.
These are two panels that are finished. Um, the reason it's gonna stay black and white is because I want to get the old school horror feel. Um, like vintage
Hmm.
80s kind of deal. This is not egg beater. This is a surprise.
Ooh.
Uh, here are the cross pins. The
And these are available on multiple pieces of merchandise on your Etsy store.
Yeah, um, I've got a distressed dad hat with it on it, and then
Mhm.
an apron.
You need to make a trucker hat too, because like I have long hair. I'm in a trucker hat, or I need the button back. You know what I'm saying? I gotta snap
Oh,
back.
okay.
Hair's too long.
Well,
I moved to Washington, and I said I'm gonna grow my hair out for the first time in my life.
just for you, I will put it on a trucker hat.
There
It's
we
gonna
go.
be on more stuff anyway. But the apron and the distressed dad hat were just like the first. But yeah, I love this so much.
So if you do happen to buy an apron, what hashtag should they put on the post when they put it on Twitter so that you can see you sporting the apron doing various egg beater recipes, perhaps?
um, I mean, hashtag egg beater, I guess, but you could always just tag me
Why does 24 need to move to Virginia or Alabama? How, how dare you, sir?
because you're on the West Coast and it's icky there.
Mm. I mean, my grandmother's from Alabama.
So here's your bludgeoning.
Mm.
Um, they're heavy, so they go like right into his skull.
Croissant, there we go. Oh, I mean, the eyeballs are even. Well, I like how the eyeballs are like melting too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pressure.
Uh, Here's some of the character designs when we were kind of fleshing everything out, so to speak. Uh, all the blood is not going to be red. It's just going to be straight white.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like some parts of Sin City, you know.
Mm.
This this is the artist. I sent him a shirt that had the crosspins, and he was so pumped. It's very cute.
There you go.
Yeah. So this image is going to be the cover, and
I
that's
think
that's
okay,
done.
so I think that what needs to happen is that if you do back this project and you happen to like really want to see more happen with it, like what helps fund and make this thing happen is the Etsy store. You might want to drop in there, maybe pick up a couple things. Maybe you want to go and pick up one of these aprons and maybe hashtag an omelet that you made just for the egg beater story or something that you did.
Well, when you sign up for the mailing list on IndieGoGo, because that's what's live currently, you get a free trading card, and I'm doing the trading cards to be like recipes. Um, so each trading card is going to have a like funny pun-filled recipe about death. So I'm calling it like
Mm.
recipes of death, you know. And the first one was drawn by Hockey, and it is going to be called Scrambled Brains.
And Hockey is your co-host, and he has his own really cool show on his own channel, Ad Hoc Art on YouTube. You need to check it out, and I will add that to the description because I failed to do that. But we will add that in there, and you can check out Hockey. He does some really cool drawing show, right? Where,
Yeah,
every ten
no can
minutes
draw.
they switch it up. So he gets a really good artist on there with him, and he tortures them by rolling dice and having them do silly things throughout the drawing. And we see what we get at the end, and they're always usually really cool. He just had Noah, the new teen sensation, or like I guess the CG teen sensation, um, on there the last time, and I think it's pretty cool show. But him and Allie do a show where Allie just subjects him to whatever she comes up with, and it's quite entertaining.
Well, I mean, I want to have fun on
Mm.
Saturdays, so that's what
Well,
I do.
girls just want to have fun.
That's true. Oh, I am doing the lettering myself though. So
You are doing the oh, okay, there we go.
yeah. Oh, and so this panel is before the next one.
Mm.
But I was telling you he like rolling pins his neck all the way down. That's what's happening. And then his head just straight pops right off.
There we go.
And because egg
Ah,
beaters,
that's kind of that would be a cool tattoo. Like, look at it because it's got the background and stuff. It's kind of like a
yeah.
little early 2000s little.
Well, this is a full page, so he just decided to do that as a full page. Um, and uh, it was funny because it is funny because when I was deciding what he was gonna look like, egg beater that is,
Mhm.
I I gotta show it so that you know what. Whoops. So you know what I'm talking about. So his face looks like that, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not a good resolution because I'm ridiculous. There we go. Okay. So his face is all melted on the side and coming open, and this is saliva right here.
Hmm.
So he can't swallow correctly. So every once in a while he has to go um suck it back up.
Nice. Nice. No, I like it. It looks pretty good. Weird thing to say here, right here, but my dad's actually a burn survivor. So, yeah, no, I like it. I like it. It looks good. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like Vinny's mouth. I selected this one. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so great. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. Actually, it's gonna be fun.
So, when can we expect the launch for this?
I'm not gonna launch this until I have at least 95% of it totally done.
Okay,
Um,
so where are we looking at right now? What are we doing? How are we feeling right now?
it's probably gonna be earliest is probably honestly gonna be spring of next year. Um, just because I want to make sure that it's almost totally done, and that way nobody has to have like a long fulfillment
So you're
time.
quick for yeah. So instead of backing the book and then waiting the commensurate 9 months to a year, you're trying to have everything pre-established, pre-done. So again, Allie's funding all of this with the Etsy store and your generous donations to her YouTube. So you can find all these links in the description below. And I think that you should hit some action because Allie's a pretty cool person, and this project looks pretty lit. It's I'm a big like punk rock art brute kind of person, and that's why I'm really like digging it. I like the horror. I like that old school kind of vibe. That's something you kind of dig too. You're big into like the Elvira thing. What are your,
Yeah.
do you have like a ranking of Elvira movies? Like which one's your favorite?
Um, I probably like Haunted Hills the best, I think.
I mean,
Elvira's Haunted Hills.
she's been moving and grooving. I saw that she had an IndieGoGo project, but I missed it. I didn't see that. Like, but I've seen her
Oh
on
yeah,
like different
I
car
bought it.
shows. Did
I
you?
bought it. Yeah.
Was it good? Did it
Uh,
turn out?
they said it's supposed to ship in October.
Oh, okay.
So,
So stand by. Because
yeah.
I mean, the last time I had seen her, other than I had heard that she was gonna do like more video, like movie things again. Um, other than last time I seen her was on like one of those car shows, like the Las Vegas car hot rod show where they like work on cars, like counting cars is what it's called. It's
Oh,
where
okay.
like it's where this dude who has like a vampire band and like does custom cars or whatever did like a custom Cadillac or something for her, like a spooky car.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Elvira for Halloween. So,
You have the actual wig.
well, I don't have like a wig that she has touched, but I
No,
do
but
have the
you're officially
official wig,
officially licensed
the
wig. Let me correct that.
licensed
The
wig.
licensed
Yes.
wig. I'm
And
sorry. There
then,
is a different. Yeah, it's not. It's not enough. She didn't wear it on like episode whatever
yeah,
introduction or whatever movie, but an officially licensed Elvira wig. So it's
yes.
legit.
And I just the other day I got like a trucker hat that says Elvira 2020, and I wore it on a live stream I did a few days ago. And then I got a mouse pad that's of her boobs. So that was fun. My kid saw it and was like, "What is that?"
What is that? Why is there hair there?
I was like, "Oh, it's just, Elvira." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, all right. I'm just on with my day.
Yep.
Man, kids are incredibly amazing. What they do and how they react to things. Like, I'm very impressed sometimes with my kid. Like some of the things that come out of his mouth. I was like, that's very fitting. It's very intelligent. I agree with you. But I just don't know where in your life you experienced enough shit to be able to say those words. Like how you put that thought together.
What was it? Dr. Shocker said, "Can I pay her to read a book to me?"
Yeah.
I did do voiceovers for two Comicsgate trailers.
Well, I mean, technically, yes, you could, and I mean, I guess he could pay you to like also just do commercials for his businesses. Although like they're not really like they're more
I'm definitely
not the
open
industry you advertise on TV.
for voiceover work. It's really fun.
Yeah. Have you gotten to do anything else besides like some of these trailers that you worked on? And what trailers did you do? What projects?
I did Perfect 10 and
I have Perfect 10.
yeah, me too. And I even got the little
Mm.
standy thingy because I was like, I want to be able to play with it and pretend it's my voice. It's so dumb. And then uh,
Francis.
yeah,
Francis.
exactly. My
Boom.
voice,
Boom.
how I'm talking now.
I'm not even into vegans, and I bought the whole package, and I actually don't think that character is that bad. I was actually impressed by all the books that came with everything.
Oh
I got
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
kit and caboodle.
It came with tons of stuff. The voice I'm like my regular voice that I'm using now is not the voice that I use for her, but Then I also did a trailer for Company Men,
Company
which
Men.
yeah, which for like it's a finished trailer, but for some reason he hasn't uploaded it yet. But I did both of the main female characters' voices.
Well, everybody should know or be recognized company men if they recognize the show and they're regular in the audience because we've had both Dean and a man named Kimasabi on the show where we
Yes.
discuss this.
And they're both very cool.
They
Both
are
very cool
very cool, very fun. Kimasabi, I mean, I know what I wish I could like do shows with him all the time because that man has the ability to speak. Like he could just go. There's
Well,
no
a lot
stopping him.
of a lot of well, I don't know about a lot, but a couple of the dudes in CG uh took like didgeridoo lessons.
Oh yeah.
And so the way that you have to play it means that like you're constantly breathing even when like
Mhm.
you're blowing out. So they talk like that too.
it's, well, I mean, I guess, I mean, that could be one explanation. I mean, I don't know. I do. I'm very, very, very impressed by like Kiyosawa because he'll do his drawing streams. You know, he's got all those sketch cards for the Company Men campaign, and yeah, and I love it too because you can just sneak in there and you can get some cool suggestions. I slipped Crocodile Dundee in there. Thank you know whoever gets that sketch card can thank me. Um, I got uh, I got Tim Curry in there as Frankenfooter. You can thank me for that one too. There's a couple others.
I did the Goblin King. That was my suggestion to
Oh
him
yeah,
once.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and then didn't you? You didn't. You weren't the suggester, but you weren't you talking to him about Malfoy's dad or something, right? Or
I was the person who
oh,
suggested
did you?
that. Yeah. Lucius Malfoy. Yeah.
There there are comics made as we speak. You can't be racist to Australians. They live down under.
Okay.
There's some kind of logic to that. America. I don't know.
They just see everything upside
No,
down.
just blink twice. Comics made. If you're still alright, if you have freedoms left, and they haven't put you like in a camp yet.
Blink 3 times if they're listening to you right now.
Yeah. No, I'm any. I swear to God, like so, there. I actually watch quite a few Australian CG people, and they all live in different states, so it's kind of like weird to hear, the different reportings of what's going down there. But I am worried, and I do think that like a couple of these people, even some other YouTubers that I know that are Australian, like kind of waiting for like some people to get some dragged off screen, like some Blade Runner shit, like
For real. Um, it's kind of weird too, because it's like some Australians seem to have a different cultural definition of freedom.
Yes, that's true too.
It's so strange. They're like, "Oh, it's fine, we don't have freedom of speech, but we don't need it." It's like,
No,
"What?"
but like they get fined for not voting. Like you have to vote. Like you have to actively vote in the system. But then you
Oh
like
my
are
gosh,
limit,
that's so horrible.
but you're like limited on your fucking choices, right? Like you're stuck in this fucking system. So it's like we're
Oh
making you
my gosh.
choose your, you know. And they
No,
keep saying
pure
like I get really worried because they keep saying world order and we're testing world order on Australia, and I'm like, well, Australia was a test ground to begin with, so I guess maybe Mm.
Oh my gosh. Wolvo and Dean, are you guys sorry, I was swallowing weird, I guess.
That's what she
Wow.
said.
Are you guys gonna be up tomorrow to watch that weird Star Wars show with me? There's
Oh.
we've been making fun of this Star Wars game show on like the Disney website.
Oh yes, ma'am. No, I caught it. I caught it. I definitely
Yeah.
caught those. I have brain issues, right? So I'm kind of a crazy person, and I wake up at random times, and like it just seems so far that like this is why I have so many Australians that I watch on YouTube is because I'm literally awake when I shouldn't be. And yeah, no, I caught your streams, and they're Oh man, Dean is the most brutal. He's just like, I hate that little fat kid. That fat kid.
Yeah,
It's like, but you know what?
potato.
But it's like, you know what? He's gonna win. He's gonna win, Dean. Just to spite you, he's gonna win. Obviously.
Yeah, those shows are so offensive.
No, they're offensive and dumb, and those kids are like the puzzles they have to do are stupid. Like, no, no, go back. No, do a retro review. Go download some Legends of the Hidden Temple or some
Legends of the
other.
Hidden Temple is so cool, though. You can't make fun of it.
No,
It's
that's what
so
I'm saying.
cool.
Like go back and watch it and compare like the intelligence level of people, right? Like go back and watch like some Double Dare from
For
back in
sure.
the day and like see like the questions and or just the physical activities that kids had to do and the prizes. This is the other thing. Back in the day, like Double Dare was the sickest show to be on as any kid because you had like what was it like 20 different stations and each one was a prize and like you had everything from a fucking bike to BK Dimacells. Do you remember BK Dimacells, British Knight Dimacell shoes?
No.
Okay, well they were really popular. I'm from Ohio. They were really popular in Ohio, and that was one of those things on Nickelodeon. But like where I grew up, people literally were getting shot for their BK Dimacells. Like my uncle was gonna buy me some, and my
Wow.
mom didn't let him buy me any because we lived in Dayton and people were getting shot for their Dimacells. But like that was like that the watch, the calculator watch. Um, there was a certain kind of mountain bike, the Sega Saturn. There was just like all these. The whole thing was like this most ridiculous stuff ever. Or like things that like kids might appreciate today, but like they would never do because stores don't exist like this for them anymore. Like Toys R Us is dead in America
Yeah.
at least. Fucking the sweepstakes. When we were kids, we used to have sweepstakes, right? So you could like sign up for something and then it would be like you have 10 minutes to run around the store and
Oh, yeah.
whatever shit you can get across the finish line is yours.
Yeah. No, nothing is fun anymore.
Could you imagine that as an adult? If they made that TV show for adults, like everybody would like
Oh
freak
my
out. They'd
gosh.
love it. If you told me I could go into a fucking, even if I had to go to Walmart, and Walmart's shitty, but even if I could go to Walmart, just whatever I could fit in the cart for in like 10 minutes, fuck out of here. I would. Oh, that would be the most popular thing on TV. Come on, hands down.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Now I have this weird Star Wars show to make fun of these dumb little kids. So,
Yeah, they are exceptionally dumb though, and that worries me. Like we're a first world nation, and we're like stumbling into fourth world education.
well, and their only prize at the end is that they get like the lightsaber.
The chintzy movie set version, the $200 version or something. Like maybe if you're like a super nerd, you would buy this like thing to like do a YouTube video. That's
Yeah.
so lame though. Like we still haven't figured out like a powerful enough like flashlight setup, right? Where we could make a fake laser beam yet. We still like tech sucks when it comes to the lightsaber like toys. Because 90% of them are still like that fucking pop out thing, those old throw swords that they saw like at the Renaissance fair and the
Yeah, yeah,
festival
yeah.
with the like light beam in them and shit.
Yep.
My son lives down in Florida, and he is a huge like his grandparents are huge Disney fans. They have like literally like $70,000 invested in Disney pins, and that
Oh
doesn't.
my
I mean, like
god.
they had to, yeah. That means they had to be like in vacation clubs and do cruises and shit to like get some of this shit. All right, so like they're invested in Disney, and so like good for my kids because they get to go to Disney because the grandparents fucking love Disney and got the money to go to Disney and do all the shit, right? But like my son has his own droid. And he got to make it himself. You just go to like the Star Wars part of Disney World
Yeah.
and you can make your own droid.
Yeah. I went to the Star Wars part of Disney World. It was okay.
Well, I haven't been to Florida or Disney World since I worked there, and I worked there back in 2005. Back in 2005, I worked down there I was in college. I went to there was a college internship program,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I worked in the resorts. I was just walking. This is so stupid. I literally was just walking around school one day, right? And I opened up fucking the school newspaper, perusing it, whatever. And like, this is like the 2000, like the early 2000, like what 2004, so 2005, like in this frame. Like, I just got out of high school. I'm still a punk rocker. I got like 12-inch fucking blonde Liberty spikes. I got a goatee. I got 15 chains off my fucking wallet. I'm wearing a Misfits fucking hoodie. And I see this like Disney thing, like I know like I'm gonna have to shave my goatee. I'm gonna have to like change my haircut. I'm gonna have to. I can't wear my clothes to work, obviously, whatever. But I just jumped on it. I jumped on it. I went down there. That's how I met my first wife. So she gave me my kids. So I can't completely hate that situation. But went down there, jumped into it, and like, so I haven't gotten to experience Disney World since, like, really. And I would like to go down there and see like all the new shit that they've done.
Yeah,
No,
I
she's
was
like,
no,
no, like maybe you don't want to see it. Maybe you would have
no.
better memories of 2005.
You might. So how do I say? So COVID kind of like fucked up everything at Disney. Um, a big part of it is that you don't have to wear masks anymore, right? Because our governor
Hmm.
was like, no, you can't do that. Um, However, they can do whatever they want with their employees, their
Oh
cast
yeah, yeah,
members.
yeah. Of course, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. You're not an
they
employee.
have,
You're a cast member, and you don't have
yeah,
customers.
yeah,
You have guests. There's
exactly.
a bunch of
Yeah.
lingo.
So what they've done is that when they, so at a character meetup, if you're gonna go meet Ariel or whatever,
Hmm.
um, they have all of the characters now in their little area have to be behind glass because they can't make the characters wear masks because that ruins the look. Oh my god. Um, so now they're behind glass, and so when a kid meets them, they're just like talking through glass, and they take a picture right now. And they take it so that it looks like the kid is standing next to the character, but they're
Okay.
but they're really not,
Oh
which
god
is
damn it.
so messed up.
You know what's obnoxious about that? First of all, 90% of the characters are college students on the Disney program. Now, they
Yeah,
get paid more money than like what I got paid. Like, they get
yeah,
paid a higher price. But they literally wear the costume. They work for 45 minutes at a time, and then they take like 20 or 30 minutes off in between. They have
yeah,
these little like stage areas, like where they go and sit or whatever. And
yeah,
actually, 90% of characters are women because it's a height requirement, right? So
yeah.
like anything from Mickey, Minnie, Chip, and Dale, if it's not something tall, if it's not Tigger, if it's not King Louie, if it's not
Darth Vader, Darth
Darth
Vader.
Vader, everything else is a girl. They're all girls
Yeah.
in the costumes.
Or
Stitch,
like if it's a
or a
if it's
very
a
very small dude, a very small dude, which is not is it's pretty rare.
well Tinkerbell that flies down is usually a man
Okay,
in a costume.
Tinkerbell. Okay, to be Tinkerbell, you have to weigh 90 pounds. So that
Yeah.
you have to be like 5'3" and weigh 90 pounds, and you get paid $500. Well, at least back in the 2000s, like before the teens, the 2000s. You used to get paid $500 per zip line, right? Like per go down or
Oh, cool.
whatever. So like that was every day they were doing that. But yeah, it usually was like a 90-pound, 5 foot
Little
one
gay
woman.
dude.
Like
Yeah.
it might be a dude. Well, see, okay, so the face characters, the characters that don't wear the costumes or whatever, 90% of those people are gay. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
like
if you work down in the tunnels, like if you were in Disney, like you're an employee and you can go, there's underground tunnels in the
yeah,
parks,
yeah.
right? That connect everything. And there's like where you do maintenance, but there's also like employee, like lunch rooms and shit and everything,
Yeah.
like all underground stuff. You go down into the tunnels and shit, um, and you'll see like Aladdin grabbing Prince Driver's ass, and yeah.
Yeah, I always wanted to meet Gaston, but he doesn't have like a hangout. He just walks around. So I never got to meet him. But
Mm.
I did get to sit in his chair. That was cool.
Yeah, they've changed so much stuff. I don't know, man, anymore. Like, and some of the stuff seems even more racist to me. They made like a black Ariel or something, and they gave her like a fucking like a shark tail or some shit. I was like, you just made her like really mean looking. I don't know. Like,
No,
I feel like that's more
so
racist than fucking just having the redheaded fucking
you know how um Beyonce did Nala's voice in the Lion King remake?
yeah.
Yeah. So Beyonce had signed on that girl who is playing Ariel now. I call her Shaquariel.
Mm.
And she went to Disney and she was like, "So I signed this girl on to my label. She's a YouTuber. She sings poorly, by the way. I don't like her
Of
voice,
course.
but like she's nasally. It's clear she's had no training. But she went to Disney and was like, "Hey, I'll only voice Nala if you make this girl that I signed Ariel." And they did it. And so that is why we now have Shaquariel. And they didn't even give her red hair. She has blonde hair. She has blonde dreadlocks
Okay, here's my
and a
thing.
black tail.
If you were gonna do anything, fish in the bottom of the ocean are either like a brown color or they're like translucent and they glow. You know what I mean? Like they're like some crazy like glow in the dark fucking like black light color or something. Like if they were gonna do anything, like right, they were gonna like let's correct the color. Let's just if you're gonna be more accurate and you're doing fish, wouldn't you just make them all like neon colors, like all neon glowy colors and shit?
Well, they switched locations. So it's not happening in Denmark anymore.
Oh, of
They
course not.
they put it down in the Caribbean.
Okay, but black people aren't from the Caribbean. Black people are from.
Yeah, but all the early,
Yeah, but
that's one of
that
the
still was
first.
slave trade.
I know
That
that's one of the
has.
first places that they brought
So they're
them.
just glorifying slave trade? Like what? They're like, oh, we don't like antebellum slave trade, so we're just gonna go to Caribbean slave trade or
I don't
Indonesian
know.
slave trade
I
instead. Like
think
that's a better slave trade.
I think probably what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a huge like anti-slavery message in the movie. And probably like Prince Eric will find Ariel and be like, "Oh, father, I should not have slaves." Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably what's gonna happen.
There's gonna be like a whole like race of like sardine fish people or something, and like, god damn it,
It's
the
gonna be
fuck.
so bad.
Oh, and they're gonna have like no, but sardines would be perfect though. Like if you're gonna have that kind of bottom, because then
Oh
you could put them
god.
all in the can, right? You could like
Oh my god.
force package them.
You did not just say that.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna be racist in 2021, you have to be racist in the
Go
right
all
manner.
the
You have to
way.
be completely segregative. You have to segregate things. You know what I mean? And
Go
you have
all
to
the
make
way,
sure.
Disney, you
Yeah.
cowards.
No, but think about okay. Could you imagine like in reality? So if something's supposed to be all inclusive, right? Imagine what a project, any project, TV, movie, theater, anything would be to be all inclusive. In order to be all inclusive, right, you'd have to have all these sexualities. You would have to have all of these animalities because there are people that are like fucking kins or whatever the fuck, right? And
Yeah.
you would have to have all these races. They would be literally impossible to make any project because you would need like 15 comic editors, right? And you would need like 15 whatever the number is of differences in people, you would need that many of everything, right? Because you would need only a black gay lesbian writer could fucking write this part and only that editor and only that, you know what I mean? Like that printer could print that part. And so you would need so many people in the machine and the cog in the machine. It's like it's nonsensical. It's pretty much it's like 2021 is the world of nonsense. Just if there's common sense, just throw it out. It's
Yeah.
God forbid, like you just experience or just understanding experience and like the appreciation of experiences. I think one of the biggest things that I saw recently that I was just blown away by was there was a little girl, little like Southern girl or something wanted to do Asian Japanese tea ceremonies, right? And she had like saw the video. She got exposed to it somehow, saw the videos, whatever. And so she saw enough of it that she like went through and had her mom teach her how to do it. And she did a whole like complete video. And who was
Aw.
complaining? Americans. Were there any Japanese women or Japanese men or anybody of Japanese acts, whatever you want to call it, like in betweeners, complaining? No, not a one, not a one. But sure enough, like on the American side of things and the English side of things, just fucking pile of complaints. I'm like, if the Japanese aren't complaining, then what are you complaining about? Also, like,
Right.
how do you think that we got music? Does everybody hate pop music and rock and roll and stuff? Does everybody hate that music? Because if they do, like, we're gonna divide shit up based off of who had who and who had what. Well, you could say like we stole certain things from like black culture, but you also didn't have any strings in Africa. You had strings in Europe, so
Well,
the
they didn't
guitar
even
goes
have.
away, that means Jimi Hendrix goes away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you start playing the divide game, it gets fucking dumb. But when you mix everything together and everybody gets to experience it all as one, you know what I mean, to make new, better things, then we get what is modern society. Like,
Well, like, I mean, African tribes didn't even have written language, so it's not like they could
music
write.
theory, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're so canceled.
I've I've been canceled. This is actually the fourth Outcast Owls channel. We have bounced between four different channels. At one point, we were being avidly attacked by Antifa.
Oh
So
my gosh.
we get into things. We get into some stuff here and there.
We get into things. I
Sometimes you
can't
can't help
wait.
it. Sometimes you can't help it. I mean, like, look, we do some locales and stuff. So, if you want to see some stuff other than, some comic books and pop culture, or whatever, you want to see some funny locale stuff, you can check out my other show with my host, Skeletor the God. He puts together the video package, and we go together through it, reacting with the audience, getting the emotions. We've done everything from teachers to local locales like Lucas Warner. Lucas Warner is a pretty infamous one because he's been on your mom's house podcast both like several years ago and recently, and he's also been featured on Tosh.0. So what I mean, like, we get into some stuff, you can get into some fun stuff, but also prepare to go down a dark hole because some of the things we find
That's
not
what
always
she
that
said.
pleasant. God, I hope it's dark in there. If there's light cracking in there, she might
Oof.
not be the. It might not be the one for me. Might not be the one for me.
Like a hot dog down a hallway type thing.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm not bragging about my size, but you know, uh, if I could see light, I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. 'Cause seeing light is concerning. Oh my goodness! Could you imagine what kind of Daisy Dukes a woman would have to wear to have like to see light in there?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but that will never exist. We're PC. It's 2021. Everybody wears 2,000 buttons on their stuff. I actually feel, you know what? Like women are making it easier and easier for men to become like incels and like ward off women or just like not want to be married. They're like, what's insane? What's going on insanely right now is like the statistics for men going to college. College has gotten so PC and so crazy that men are opting out of it,
Yeah.
and also because women are so crazy, they're not getting married. So then they don't even need to go to college because they don't need to earn the same kind of wage because they're only taking care of themselves.
Well,
And they can go to trade school and
yeah, I was gonna say, I think apprenticeships are gonna start coming back
oh, they
and
are. They
trade
are
school.
they are in mass. They are in mass, but the problem is that American families aren't coming back. Single men are just making substantially more money.
I don't know. I think the younger generation of women are um are going to reject like feminism and stuff.
God, well, I mean, I fucking hope so because, like, look, we're the current state of things is that I have seen literal couples. I have seen literal couples come in and ambiguously look like each other. Like you know what I mean? Like they have the same haircut, they're wearing the same kind of clothes, they have the same kind of hygiene and in
Gross.
the same hair dye, and they look like a version of the same person. You know what I mean? Like a lemming, like trying to fuck, like insanity. I'm like, what is this? Like, first of all, this is not even you. This is some amorphous thing that you created, and now you created this group identity. So now you're just like the Borg. Like, how can you love this, let alone love somebody else that looks like this? That's not the.
Yeah, and then they'll sit there and say like, "Well, I'm unique."
Gee,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
you look like all the
So
other fat androgynous people out there.
okay. Well, this is okay. This is oh okay. I'm a single guy. Single guy. Not by choice. I'm a pretty monogamous person, but last relationship didn't work out, and you know, whatever. So I got back on the dating apps just recently, like just like last week.
Oh
And
no.
I didn't know that they turned into like pay for apps. It's like playing Facebook games back in the day, you know, where it was like everything is fucking $9.99 or something. Like, oh, advance your fucking profile, pay $10 right now, or this or that, like whatever. But the other thing that drives me nuts is like 35 to 45-year-old women claiming to be pansexual. Like,
Oh yeah.
like,
It's like you've never done a single dish in your life, bitch.
exactly. If you're that confused, this is why you're probably single. Is my thing. You know what I mean? Like you can make mistakes, or you can have a bad picker, and I can accept that. But like the two things that I find obnoxious are if you're some weird 2021 sexuality that didn't never exist in your generation, and it's just an excuse for you to be a selfish like adult doing whatever the fuck you want and playing games, right? Uh, because that's what I feel like. You know, like all these hippie and like homeless people, a lot of them like actually opt for this lifestyle. They opt to do
Yeah.
this shit, and then they like, I don't want a relationship right now. Right now, I'm pansexual and I'm sleeping with 15 different people and all this stuff. But when they're 65, used up, and also have no personality left because they've done all the drugs in the world, that's when they want to be in a relationship. That's when they
Yeah.
want you to take them on, like when they're completely useless.
Or even like if you're a woman, you're gonna hit 45 and or even 35, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I'm childless. I'm gonna if I don't start really taking care of myself, like
Mm.
I'm gonna be worthless in the dating pool."
Oh
Like,
no, so that's the other obnoxious thing. So you can't be the person like that I just said, but you also can't be the lady that's going, I'm 45. I own my own house. I own my own car. I own my own three cars. I own a yacht. I own this, and you're just a bonus to my life. And if you can't be anything else, then fuck you. Like, no, lady. Like that's like you. Basically, what you decided to do was take on the man role. Well, this is what a man's life is. You take on some. Like, if you're really, really successful, more than likely you're going to take on somebody that's less successful than you, and no matter whether they're self-sufficient or not, just basis on that you wanting to spend time with them, they're going to be, you know, in count like part of your finances, right? Because you know they may be able to pay their own bills, but if you want to go to fucking Tahiti, well, I guess you're paying for them to go to Tahiti with you if you want your fucking partner to go with you,
yeah.
because they wouldn't go otherwise. You know, they would do their Florida trip, or they go to North Carolina or some shit, whatever it is. But like to be so obnoxious, like, you know what, lady, you're not even alpha female. The alpha female is actually the CEO who makes 10 times you what you do, and she has two kids. And, you know, like those kids are going to Harvard and they're part of whatever sorority she was part of, and, you know, so on and so forth. And all these other things that are like way bigger accomplishments than being a single person and only worrying about yourself and building a fortune. Like it's so easy to only worry about yourself. It's so much more difficult to take other people.
Yeah. Plus I don't think even like those women are even happy, you
No,
know.
obviously they're not. I mean, like they're like, oh, I just want you to add to my life. Okay, well, why are you so aggressive? Because like, if you really were like living a great life, then your ad would just be like, I'm having a fun time, and I just want someone to have fun with me. Are you down to have fun with me? I just need to have fun, not a stern warning like, if you fuck up, like I just feel like you're just picking the wrong people, then, lady. Like you always have. Like, it's like you have the same problem and you never addressed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-mm-mm. Single ladies, but transitioning away from the drunken uh, anger about dating apps, you can support this lady right here, this lovely lady, this space woman, this woman who has put her heart and soul into several projects on several different platforms. You can hit Amazon if you would like, because it's more convenient for you and you have the Amazon link, and you can get her book, or you can get a signed copy from her Etsy store, along with other handmade goodies. You can also go to her Teespring, and you can check out all the cool merch on that store. You get yourself a nice egg beater apron. You can go to IndieGoGo and check it out, and perhaps sign up and get yourself some pre-launch goodies, friend. That's the biggest thing. I think people fuck up all the time. They're like, it's just so easy. You go to IndieGoGo, you put your email in there, you answer one email in your thing, and when the project comes out, boom, you got the goodie. Like now you're in the secret email list. Now you got all the good stuff. And there's plenty of projects that like make it worth it. Like I'm glad that I'm on War Party. War Party is an amazing book. It's 6 pieces. It's I got like a handful of the books already. I just got another book in today, like the supplemental. Unfortunately, the mail carrier like damaged my fucking. How hard do you have to fuck up, like really like mash on a goddamn Gemini mailer to like put a crease in a book?
Right.
So the mail carrier, unfortunately, did a little bit whatever. But like, you know what? I still have the secret link. I'm probably just gonna pick up another copy. I'm even gonna make that gentleman refund me because he's giving me so many good products and cool secret links to get other cool products. So it's not. I mean, it's worth it. It's always worth it to sign up for the emails. It's always worth it to get the information from the person from the first. Don't just like rely on the website. And if you've been entertained, you should by Ali, and she shows up on many shows, then I think you should support this woman. You did a novel. What was your novel about?
Wild Man is basically it's written like a fable, like a Grimm's fairy tale.
Okay.
Um, it's about a man who is captured by a queen, like an ice queen, and she uses him like her love slave, pretty much. But then when she's sick of him, she tosses him out into the cold, and he is found by an old woman who starts nursing him back to health. And very soon we discover that the woman is a shapeshifter. She changes with the seasons. So
Mm.
from Winter Lady, she becomes Spring Child, and then Summer Girl, and then Autumn Woman. Um, and he
Is
learns
this a
things.
perpetual cycle, like it goes on for eternity?
Not in the book.
Okay.
The book has an ending. So pretty much, he learns from all of these people, and then he becomes obsessed with a deer,
Okay.
and he runs away to try and find this deer and kind of goes insane. There's no dialogue in the book, so I understand, it's not for everyone, which is fine. Anyone can read it, obviously, but I understand people who are going to be like, I don't like this.
So
But
when you say
my
there's no dialogue, like how does your story move? Basically, it's just a descriptive. Is it just, it's like a narrator is descripting to you the entire story, kind of?
yes.
Okay.
And then they have little songs every once in a while for every chapter. I have a song. So, I mean, I wouldn't call that dialogue, but the characters are singing.
Okay.
Um, my other novels are nothing like it. Um, that one is a one-off, basically. It was a revenge book. So, uh, when I left all those people in Colorado who were, the yuppies, trust fund kids, um, they kind of betrayed me in a lot of ways. So I put a lot of it into this book. Um, have you seen A Knight's Tale?
Yes.
So, you know when Jeffrey is talking to the men who like keep taking his clothes because of his gambling, and he says, I will eviscerate you in fiction, every pimple, every character flaw. I was naked for a day. You will be naked for eternity.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about when I wrote this
There you
book.
go. Oh, hey, I mean, it's a good exercise of that emotion and got you through it. And, we were talking backstage. You seem to have created a well balanced human being. So, what else can you ask for in the
Um,
chaos of life?
yeah, I hope so. But my other novels are not like that. The fantasy novel is just straight up like high fantasy.
Okay.
Magic and creatures and stuff. Um, and then the other novel that I'm working on is a middle grade, so for like preteens, and it's like a historical mystery thing. So this girl is taken back in time by a ghost, um, and she has to solve his mystery and stuff. The high fantasy is basically like a wizard who wants to get revenge on the queen, so he starts building an army.
Okay.
Um, that's like it's hard to you know sort of sum up a novel, but that's the best that I can do.
No, no, fair enough. Like, I mean, hey, if you wanted to read like your descriptions off the back of the book, we could have done that. It's all right. It's straight. No, it's good. It's a 2 minute movie pitch. We got the basis of everything, and I think that like based off of your personalities, that it should at least pique people's interest to start to read, and then maybe they get a couple words in, and they're feeling
When
something, some kind of way.
nothing that I write is PC. I hold nothing back. So,
Ali holds nothing back ever, whether she's on stream or whatnot. Ali is she is beast mode. She is beast mode, and she is based, and she is one of my favorite people in all of the YouTubes. And in fact, like I hope to have you back as a guest again, and I really hope to have you on like just a girls' night, an all-female panel.
oh, Curio's asking me, no, wait, no horror novel, Allie? Well, see, I have a lot of novels I'm going to write, but there are only 3 books I'm working on right now. I can't work on all of them, at the same time. So I'm just focusing on these 3: the comic book, which is a horror, and like a horror slasher, and
So,
then
do
the other
you
2 books.
with that book, do you have like a story arc in mind, like where you're gonna end it, or is it something that you could continue on, like hack slash, something
What,
like
Egg
that? Where,
Beater?
yeah.
Um, Egg Beater's a one-off. However, there are going to be well, 3 spin-off novels, or
Okay.
not novels, spin-off
Graphic
comics.
novels.
Um, one's gonna be The Butcher, and one's gonna be The Candlestick Maker.
Okay.
And
Fair
then
enough.
and then the last one is gonna be a versus where they all fight each other.
Oh, that sounds pretty dope. Freddy versus Jason and the egg beater canon.
Yeah, I can I guess. But I do have, other novels that, have some chapters written or, whatever. I've got a novel about skinwalkers.
Oh yeah,
Um,
skinwalkers are super interesting. I had so I'm Marine, and traditionally Navajo Native Americans
mm,
joined the Marine Corps. They were the Wind Talkers during World War II, so they
mhm.
they played a very pivotal role. They literally translated stuff in Navajo over the radio
Yeah.
for like movements and artillery fire and whatnot.
Yeah, because they knew that the enemy wouldn't be able to
Oh,
figure it out.
never be able to translate that language.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Um, I've got I've got an erotica novel that takes place in the very end of slavery in America. That one is
Okay.
not PC in any way.
Erotica. I love it. My grandmother used to read these. My great grandmother, the one that I watched Paddington Bear with and ate the marmalade sandwiches. She used to get like in the mail, like like they had the Columbia House like
Oh yeah,
CD
yeah,
club or
yeah.
whatever. She used to get like 6 books like every
Mhm.
couple of weeks, like in the mail like that,
Yep.
of like romance novels.
Yeah,
I
this
cracked
is
a
not.
couple of those one day, and I was like, "Wait a
Oh,
second,
grandma. Whoa,
hold
my.
on a minute."
No, this is not a romance novel though. Like it's not, it's yeah. I also let's see. Oh, the next comic after the Egg Beater, horror slasher series is about a zombie who is a PI.
Okay, private
So
eye zombie.
yeah. um that comes later though. And then oh, I've got an anti-feminist novel.
Type.
Um yeah.
Oh, what is that called, Femcom?
That is called The Hourglass Staircase.
The hourglass there. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it takes place in Australia, incidentally,
Okay.
where feminists have like killed off all but 10% of the male population. And
Uh, there is a 10-to-1 ratio or something crazy like that. And, I have always been jealous of my Australian counterparts because of that ratio. It is much easier for a lesser attractive male
oh my
or an
god.
even super attractive male to like jump much further on the scale because of the availability in the population. And I watched, a couple episodes of Bondi Beach back in the day, and I was like, fuck.
Oh my god.
And then I was in the Marine Corps, and they're like, or I was in Japan, like I was in Okinawa, and Okinawa is fuck. Oh god, fucking. It's just moist. It's moist. You know how like people hate the word moist and how like they feel all the disgusting parts of moist. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
That describes Okinawa. Moist. All right,
Okay.
fucking moist all the goddamn time. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's where
terrible.
my dad was put there for a while.
And they're like, "Oh, we're thinking about building like." Of course, I go there when they're like, "We're thinking about building a new base in Australia on the Gold Coast." Like, oh, of course you are. Of course you would send me overseas to Iraq twice and Afghanistan, and then be like, "Fuck you. You're going to." You're married and all, but we're just, you got a couple years left in the country. We'll send you to Japan by yourself. You figure that out. Okay.
Thank you, America.
Not
I
even
love you.
Australia. Not even Australia. You know what I mean? Like, eventually I did lose the wife. So, at least if I went to Australia, I could have like replaced her. In Japan, like they're already taken. Like I'm not, how hard am I gonna work? Like there's already people fucking, jumping off buildings and shit.
um well, that one actually was plagiarized from me
Oh
at
wow.
one point. Some a male author stole it from me. I have one chapter of it written, well, like a prelude basically,
Mm-hmm.
prologue. And a guy took it and put it in the beginning of his book. And
Oh wow.
I only knew about it because someone else found it and they
Hmm.
sent it to me. They're like, "Allie, this sounds like something you'd like because it's anti-feminist." And I was like, "Okay." So I went and I looked at it and I was like, "Wait a second.
So
There's no
here's my
fucking way."
question. Does the tone sound consistent through the entire book? Or is it like one of those things where it's the same theme and he's stolen from like 30 different people to compile a book, like just
I don't
mold it
know. I didn't read the whole rest of his book. Once I was done double checking to make sure that, and he literally copied it word for
word for
word.
word? Of
Yeah,
course. Oh, it's
and
so disgusting.
I I filed a complaint with Amazon because he published it on Amazon, and then I called my family has a lawyer on retainer,
Mm.
and I called him, and well, we settled out of court, but I thought it was so funny because I was like, dude, you're not doing men any favors, like stealing from a woman. It was
Oh
so funny.
damn.
Like, you're so retarded, dude. Like, Come on, write your own shit. You don't have to steal from a woman. Come on. I mean, I'm not good at a lot of things, but I am a good writer.
Oh my goodness. You
So,
know what though? You have like retention on some shit that is very cool. And like it may be
what?
cool to like a small like group of people. No, but I've been in chats with you. This is the thing about Allie. Allie will catch you off guard. You'll be in a chat and the right topic will pop up and she will fucking like laser shark your ass. Like there'll be freaking lasers with laser beams on their head, you know? Sharks
Well,
with laser beams on their head.
like I've said previously, if you don't make it easy, then I won't be able to do it. But if you're making it easy,
I don't know how many people memorize lines from fucking heavy metal. Like I was super impressed when you just started quoting heavy metal. I was like, what?
well, it's my like number 3 favorite movie, so I don't talk about things I don't know about.
She's like, I make sure that I keep it, 100.
Well, if I don't know something, I just shut up. But if I do
Wow.
know something, I'll say it.
Oh God, if you could teach that to more people,
If I could
that's
teach
that's
that to
something.
more women, oh my god, I wish women would shut the fuck up most of the time. So stupid.
They tend to screw things up for other women. That's what I think is funny. I think it's funny is that they screw themselves over. Like there's a lot of women that are just like, yeah, we should do this trans thing, and then like the next thing you know, like
Oh
trans
my
women are
god.
taking all your fucking spots in the Olympics.
My god. I've done some anti-feminist videos too. I'm not
Well,
sure many
my
women watch them, but
my thing is just like it needs to be natural. It needs to be natural. Like so, it needs to be. I'm very capitalistic, right? So the market will bear out, right? So like the WNBA. The WNBA only exists because the NBA pays for it to exist. They actually lose money every year.
right.
and and like in fact when the pandemic hit and the WNBA wasn't getting the boost from the NBA, there was actually several NBA players that took their personal paychecks from the NBA and paid the
Oh my god.
WNBA's paychecks.
Wow.
Right, like five like like mega stars from the NBA just like took their like part of their check and paid like the $50,000 a year that it pays to be a fucking WNBA player. And like again, like I wouldn't hate on it if it had a market, but they don't actually they lose money. They don't have a viewership, and they've been beat by high school like boys. The same thing like with the women's Olympic soccer team. They were beat by 16-year-old boys that were in high school in Texas.
Yeah.
Not we're not even talking like they were beat in Latin America or they're beat in like another country where soccer is more or England, like where soccer is more prolific. No, they were literally beat by Texas boys. And like, if you're playing soccer in Texas over football, fuck, I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
um well, even in like the WWE, like they don't give as much attention to the women. Like they're
Well,
basically
because
there.
women can't hurt men in the same way. So there's only, women can only face women. When you put women against a man, it doesn't make the woman
It
look stronger. It makes the man look weaker. That's all it does. It just
well,
devalues the male character.
or it just looks like the man is being a bully.
Or yeah, that too. Well, the
It's
thing is though,
not.
like
It doesn't
you
look
can't
good.
you can't be a 325-pound man or even a 200 some pound man and pick up 130-pound woman. And some of these girls are like Bush, so maybe they're like a buck 45 or a buck 50 with muscle, right?
Yeah.
You can't toss somebody that's that size. That's still the tallest is probably like 5'9", but they're probably mostly 5'7" and like 5'6" or whatever. You can't take a person that tiny, pick them up, and throw them against the ground like when you're this giant sized person and have this
Yeah.
have that person get up off the ground and act like they took the shock the same way as if you toss somebody who was 200 pounds in the ground.
Yeah. No
It-
matter how like
it's not believable.
how staged it is or whatever, it just looks bad. But I mean, they don't even give as much time to the women fighters because they're just not as good. They're there for, for you to get to see some boobs, but they're not as good of actors. They don't
They
usually, like,
don't.
there's
Yeah,
a couple that are really cool, but for the most part, it's just not as good. So their matches are shorter. They don't have as many lines, and then they go back. Like,
well,
it's
it just
just how it
goes.
is.
It goes to a natural thing where men really don't like watching women beat on each other. This is why women's MMA is like so much less popular now. It's become more popular, and there are women fighters I follow, and but like I'm going to say that it is far more distasteful for me to watch, or like I'm far more likely to believe the argument of human cockfighting when I watch two women fight as opposed to like when I watch two men fight. Like it's a different, like completely different sentiment. This is like why women when I was in the Marine Corps were not allowed in combat positions, because whether or not it's right, wrong, or different, or you want to call it like whatever societal thing you want to like make it out to be, the fact of the matter is that men react differently on the battlefield with women.
Oh, absolutely. They
And
did
so
they
if
did a
women get
study
hurt,
on
they're
it.
more likely to make mistakes. And this is a painful thing you learn as a Marine. You can't just rush up and save your buddy. It's not a war movie. It's not like you're not Rambo. Like it doesn't work like that. The way you save your friend who just got shot in the front line is by working your way there slowly and methodically.
Sure.
So if let's say someone's like 100 yards in front of you, and that's usually how it happens, right? Like someone's like leading the march or whatever, they're 100 yards in front of you, they get shot, they get taken down by a sniper. You have to, or get shot by like maybe there's an opposing enemy force like somewhere up force. You have to move your gun line to them. You have to get your gun line in front of them. So basically, you have to have fire superiority in front of their position to give them the best chance of survival, because that's the best way that you'll be able to work on them uninterrupted or without getting anybody else injured. And the more people that get injured, of course, cause more issues. That's the whole game, right? This is what snipers do. Sometimes snipers don't kill people, they wound people to get the emotional reaction so that several people rush forward so they can get more people.
Sure. I mean, well, I guess I don't know that, but I do know they did a study on women in the military and like men being in the same like unit in the same situations, and it turned out like having women present made more casualties, and it also made it made the men make more mistakes, because they were more likely to be worried, about a woman.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're a man and you've gone through all this already together, you know, even just boot camp, it's totally different mentality. And men react to things differently than women. They actually have a faster reaction time than women do, which is why they're better drivers. Like, that's just a fact. Like, they make split second decisions better and easier than women. That's how we've survived this long.
Yeah.
You guys are walking through the fucking forest getting food,
Well,
whereas like we have to sit there and think like, is this the berry that will poison us?
it would
Okay,
be nice. It would be nice if there was a PC world. It'd be nice if there was a PC world, but here's the problem. Problem is that men exist, and so there are no, this is truth. Men exist, and so there are bad men and there are good men, and because bad men exist, that's the problem. Because you know what I mean, like that's the entire problem. Like if there was no bad men, then you could have like a PC like women be five, like you probably could do a lot of different shit. But bad men are men that will exploit every ounce of their power and energy and ability. And I'm sorry, but like when it comes to like physicality, or just because of genetics over time and evolution, like men have different bone structures. We're just built for two different purposes. Women
yeah.
breed; they have bones that are gelatinous that they expand and allow
Well,
them to
and even muscle fiber structure, like
yeah.
that's just how it is.
And men have denser bones and thicker joints, and it's meant for more impact and different muscle strength in the tensile fibers of the muscle. Like it's just a purpose built thing. And that my thing is though is like what I get upset about is like everyone's to cry about equality, but I'm just like, how is it not equal that like shit's just different? Like I can't have a baby, right? Like there's a lot of shit I can't do. Like I can't even like calm down a child like in the same way that a woman can. You know what I mean? Like there's just things that like just because you're different or because like I'm physically stronger doesn't mean that there's not like an equal purpose. And
I don't
so
know.
like
I
that's
think
what
men are
bugs me.
better. I think men are better with children than women are, honestly. But
Sometimes.
that's
Oh,
just me.
okay. I'm better than my ex-wife is, but like
Oh, there it
I
is.
know, like I consider myself like I mean, not all my friends are necessarily equal to me in what we do in fatherhood. Or the roles, but also, you know what though? You know what? I also had like, I don't have a traditional wife. Like I do have some friends that have traditional wives that like they have some ride or die, like hardcore, like good wives that like
That's
keep that
how
household together.
that's
And
how it needs to be. And those women are probably happier.
yeah, well, I mean, you know what? Actually, uh, the two or three friends that I have that we're talking about people who have been married the entire time, not divorced, have several children. Some of them have disabled children, even, and they all seem to be much happier than I am. They all have family vacations, and they do think, you know what I mean. They have like property and stuff. They own houses and things, and they those women like, and you know what? Like those guys pay all the bills and they have all the credit cards and they do everything. Like they literally pay all the bill. Like they're like I'm telling like their wives don't even know what the money is. Like they literally hand the money to their wives. Like I don't know. I was
Yeah.
in a different relationship. Like I'm divorced, and like pretty much twice over, and I'm like restarting again in Spokane, and I gave my wives a lot of leeway. So who am I to? They might be right. They might be fucking right.
Women can't be given leeway. Like, it's just not a good idea. Because women are basically adult children. Like, you just almost a man has to be there to say like, "Hey, you're being dumb. You're
Oh
being
yeah,
fucking dumb.
yeah.
Quit
No,
being dumb."
if you don't, you know what though? If you don't, women will get rid of you anyways. They'll get rid of you eventually anyways. Like they like even the ones that want you to copulate like that initially will get sick of it and will be like, we'll throw you to the curve if you're not strong enough. You're not making the right decisions, like not pulling what they consider to be the man card.
The man card.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I mean, I've I've seen a room full of unsure women who didn't know what to do. It was very awkward, right? The second that a man spoke,
hmm
all of them like breathed an unconscious sigh of relief, like their shoulders relaxed. They're like, okay, the man's in charge. I watched it happen at exactly the same time, and I was like, oh my god,
hmm
women are so fucking stupid.
Okay,
Why?
well, I mean, okay, so sometimes women are okay. There's a handful of times. It's okay. So it's a dangerous talent that women have, right? They can sometimes very much like understand a social situation that a male won't because they're in their animal brain, and so like it's a 50-50, right? Like if you have the less aggressive woman who's like trying to preserve her household and family, she'll give you the advice like, hey, you should like this is too squirrely of a situation or whatever. We need to pull out. Like we don't have the bail money or whatever. Like don't get into a fight with this dude. But then you have the other woman who is like the bitch is like, nah, like he hurt my pride. Go beat him up. Like
Oh,
I'll
like
get you out of jail, baby. Like
in the
I'll get the bail
beginning,
money.
what's that movie? The Way of the Gun or something? Like right in the beginning, fucking Sarah Silverman is taunting Ryan Phillippe, and she she makes her boyfriend go over and she's like, beat him up, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then Ryan Phillippe like punches Sarah Silverman, and
Mm.
it's super cathartic. It's like, oh yeah, punch her in
Have
the
you
face.
have you ever heard the Barbara Walters interview with Sean Connery, where he says
Oh, it's
like
so
every once in a
great.
while like, you have to go outside of a woman's head, like,
Yes, it was perfect. It's true. Absolutely. Like, every word that that man said is so true. Because I
Uh,
think he starts it out with saying, like, well, you give a woman the last word and it's not enough for her and it just keeps going. You
it just
just gotta
escalates.
fucking slap them
there's
sometimes.
a there's a point at which you gotta just cut it out and just stop. Just gotta
Chill it,
stop.
chill it out. And like even to where this is one of my more controversial, sorry, viewpoints where I definitely think like, okay, let me put it this way. So Lucy and Ricky, right? They whenever she did something ridiculous or stupid, he just pulled her over his lap and just spanked the crap out of her, right?
Yeah.
That is the perfect relationship. Every once in a while, a woman just needs a good spanking, and I'm telling you right now,
Just
it
puts it
is
back up.
it's such a relief, like, just to get just to get, like just to get your literal ass beat every once in a while, it's like, "Oh, thank you. I needed that." Because it's like a reset button, it's like, "Okay, I all of those emotions that are stupid that women have, because I'm not saying I'm any different than
Yeah.
any other chick, but all of those things that we have that are stupid, that make no sense, that are stressful, and we stress ourselves out about it, just go away. Like, it's a huge relief,
Yeah.
and it's just done. It's like, "Oh god, thank you. The reset button is exactly what I needed."
Yeah.
Just freaking beat my ass for, like, 20
Look,
minutes until I
you know,
cry.
bro, damn, girl. No, my last girlfriend was a fellow Marine, like I am, and so we used to grapple during sex sometimes, like full on like grab, like fucking like choke each other,
Mhm.
like, and yeah, no, I couldn't get her off like that way unless I like was choking her damn near to death. You
There
know,
you go. See?
like she pretty like I had to defeat her. Like if she felt like she was winning at all at any point, like she got a good pressure point or something.
Exactly.
She wasn't gonna. It wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work.
Exactly. So, like, that's why oh man, maybe I shouldn't say this on your channel. You're gonna get so, like you're gonna get so
Say
canceled.
whatever you want. Say whatever you want.
Well, women hate that I say this because 'cause they're liars. Like, women just lie.
They do.
But, like, all a woman fantasizes about is to be completely overpowered, you
hmm
know, in a very specific, mostly illegal way, okay? I'll
Yeah.
just put it that way. But they all love it, and that's what they think about. And any woman who tells you it's not is a fucking liar. I hate it so much.
I told you. Look, this is the most base woman in all of the interwebs that I've found to date.
I don't I don't know about that, but, like, it's I just wish women would say what they fucking mean every once in a while. It's so stupid. They gotta be like, "Oh, okay, honey, it's okay if you never get me a present." When in reality, she's like, "I really wish you'd send me flowers once in a while, but
Right? No,
I'm
no,
gonna pretend to
exactly.
be
No,
the
no,
one that,
no.
like, that is special, you know?"
No, you
And
know
the
what
fact
is
that I
even
don't ask should be more reason for him to give. It's like, "What
no,
the
no,
fuck
no, no,
are you
no.
talking
What's
about?"
even more ridiculous about women is that you can take
Ugh.
something that they're not used to, right? So let's say like a former boyfriend ruined giving flowers to her, right? Because maybe every time he gave flowers to her, he expected butt sex or something. So now, like every time she thinks about flowers, she thinks about butt sex, and you're just doing it to be a nice guy,
I
right?
mean, that sounds like some pretty cool flowers, but good job, ex-boyfriend. Like,
Right, right. Well,
just train her with a clicker, pretty much.
so I mean, right. So, but I mean, so now you're giving her flowers, right? And you reset the bill. Like you reset it. You give her flowers enough time. You don't like anally pound her and give her some bad like thought when she gets flowers, and then it becomes like something ordinary. Then she can get mad at you for not doing the thing that she never appreciated until you gave it to her in the first place.
Yeah, it's so stupid. God.
Like, I'm mad that you slowed down on the thing that no one ever gave to me or I ever appreciated before you.
Or like I've straight up heard my male friends say she had a dream I was cheating on her, so she's mad at me now and I'm sleeping on
Yeah.
the couch. What the fuck is that about?
I've gotten punched in the face for some shit that I did in a dream that like dream me did. Punched in the face.
So stupid. Oh no, Bronx Beats. So train her with a clicker. I saw a video this guy did where he secretly like filmed himself training his girlfriend. He'd make like a clicky sound and give her
Yeah.
like a chocolate when she did something he wanted her to do.
Yeah.
And then
Did it
later
work?
on, yes, it
It
worked.
actually worked.
It totally worked. It was awesome. I knew it would. I knew it would.
You're like I would. No.
I
Oh,
was
no.
like, it's so easy. It's exactly the same as training a dog. Like, for real. You just have to give us a little bit of like positive, you know, good job. But then when we do something bad, just be like, bad. It's
Bad
exactly
woman.
like a
Stop it.
dog.
Stop it.
Yeah. And I think somebody mentioned Bill Burr earlier, and he was like, "I'm not sleeping on the fucking couch. I paid for this bed." Like, exactly. Don't let her kick you out. That is so stupid. Like, that's your bed. She can go sleep elsewhere. What the hell?
Well, look at
Why?
you, Wolverine. You're an advanced male, sir. You also
I've
have the
never.
most boxes I've ever seen on a person's bedroom floor. Aside from,
um, I don't know. I had a dream at some point where a guy that I was with did. I don't even remember because it wasn't important to me. But I woke up and I was like, I had a dream that you did this. And he was like, Are you okay? And I was like, Yeah, I just wanted you to know. And he's like, All right. And I was like, Okay, all right. It was so easy.
Oh
Why do
yeah.
women
Well, I
want to
mean,
make shit so hard?
it could have been that way, or I mean, like also like if I don't know, like I think males are different. Like if I had that dream, like where I thought a chick was digging down, there's two reactions. Either you're not that important to me, and I'm like measured up my wealth and my like incentive and what else I can get, and I'm just gonna toss you the curve immediately without excuse. I'm just gonna like get the fuck out, or I'm just gonna bang the shit out, like just like put my dominance, like lay my male dominance on, and just like what I mean, like put the best sticking game
The,
that I have,
wait, wait,
like
wait. Did you say the best dicking?
yes, best that I
Nice.
can do. I'm gonna
I love it.
use all body parts, but you know what I mean. Like I'm gonna do what I can do to the best of my ability, and you know what I mean, like to prove my dominance. So it's like it's only two ways to do it, because sometimes you're with a chick and you're like, I don't know if I can do better than this bitch. Like, oh, I mean, like,
Don't ever let a woman know that. Be like, you're lucky you're with
no, you
me.
don't tell her that. No, you never tell her that shit. Oh fuck that. No. No, women like listening to love songs. They don't want you to actually express feelings like that. That's gross to them.
No, no, no. I don't want a Backstreet Boy.
No, 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 no. No, women will spend 13 hours listening to like even old women, even women that are in their 40s will listen to like One Direction or something for 15 hours. But if their man said any kind of thing that was that soft, like actually said it to them, oh, fuck out of here. Like, their pussy would dry up and they would fucking crawl away like a spider creature or something.
Exactly. A
Fuck.
spider creature.
I'm telling you. It'd be some shit off of Alien.
Oh
Like,
my
the
god.
vagina would just implode and it would bring the entire body in. It would just be lit as fast as it could scurry away.
Oh my god.
There's. No, I mean, like I think you can actually hear a woman's vagina dry up where if you're too soft. I really think you can.
Oh my god.
This is why, like, I mean, I think this is how like these pussies have like one vagina, right? They had to make themselves amorphous and then talk women into being amorphous. And then like if you do enough like gender bending, like confusing talk or whatever, and you think that you're supposed to be this thing and you're suppressed or whatever, like maybe you can get some uppity bitch to like cut her hair really short and dye it pink and have sex with you, but you have to have sex with a short-haired, pink-dyed woman, and that's
Who's
just
probably like obese,
oh yeah, and at this point doesn't have any hygiene.
Yeah, because she doesn't like shave and stuff.
Oh, she free bleeds. She just
Oh
lets
god.
just let it run, let it
Did you
run, let
did
it
you
run.
watch that video that I made?
Yes, I do.
That's why you brought it up, isn't it?
Free bleeding is insanity. But I mean, I've read articles about it before. My favorite free bleeding thing is when it's a transgender dude, right? I'm a guy, but I bleed because men can not have penises and bleed too freely in their pants.
Well, Curio says guys want to express their sensitive side sometimes, but it comes out like a pussy.
Hmm.
Not necessarily.
No,
Okay?
you know what that
It
is? Those songs used to be written. People, that's Willie Nelson. Like men used to talk about like a little bit of heartache here and there, but then they went back to being men, like in
well,
the
or
next song.
even like Alice in Chains,
Oh, there.
right?
Okay, yeah,
Like a lot of those songs are very, emotional, but it's like male emotions. And
yeah.
that's a thing for your like wife. You know, you have a wife and that is the one that you like express the sensitive side. But it's like okay, so my papa, my dad's dad, um he or no, my great grandpa, that's what it is. He was in World War II and something else I can't remember, but he never talked about it except
Oh,
for
yeah.
like two stories that he told his wife. So like that's the only reason why we know about them in my family is because he told her two stories and after she died,
Hmm.
those were the what he might have told her more,
So
but those were the two that he that she told. Like
this is all I got out of my grandfather, who's a World War II veteran. He joined the army when he was 14 years old. He tried to join the Marine Corps, but he was colorblind. They didn't take colorblind people in the Marine Corps at the time. So he went in there. All I ever got was advice wise was, and I got no war stories at all. No one
mhm.
ever heard a fucking thing out of this man. He never talked about being in the army ever until I was in the Marine Corps, and he said, "You need to listen to the old timers." And he told me a couple of stories like just military advice. Like,
Sure.
yeah, he got meritoriously promoted to the sergeant because everybody else got killed in front of him,
Oh my
right?
god.
And he was the motor pool sergeant, and so he used to eat dinner with the chow hall sergeant and the mess hall sergeant and the supply sergeant, right? And he's like, you just make your so basically he just told me stories about he's like, make sure you listen to the old guys because they'll keep you alive because they've been there, done that, right?
Yeah.
And on the other hand, make sure that you make friends because that's how you make things happen in the military. That's the. But did he ever tell me of like I was in the trenches of Paris and this happened? Never, not one fucking time. Not even after being deployed 3 times, he didn't tell me one of the stories.
Well,
Never mentioned
exactly.
it. Never mentioned. The only people who know about the stories are all dead because they're all there. Because there's what like 15 World War II veterans left in like all of America.
Yeah.
Like his uniform is sitting in a VFW in Ohio, and that's the end of his story. Like all those people, when they died, all the stories died. There is.
Well, there's a couple, you know, veterans who will come out and be like, this happened, but for the most part, no, they don't want to talk about that stuff. Curious is saying rooster, but yeah, but even like
Rooster was like Vietnam though.
yeah, but uh even Metallica, their song One,
Yeah, one is
um
really good one.
yeah, and if you
I'm
read the
not a
book,
huge Metallica fan because I'm a punk rocker, and
not
to
me neither.
me, metal is just overzealous and has too many. Like it just takes fucking 30 minutes to do a fucking solo. Like I don't like that hippie fucking fish shit where there's like for
Well, okay.
30.
So
No, no. Punk
so
rock does
then
that in 35 seconds. All your notes, but done,
well,
done.
so then Holiday in Cambodia then.
Mm,
Okay?
okay.
If you're talking mainstream punk, okay. You can sigh, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. You have your no effects and shit like that too, where you have people who play more complex chords. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, definitely Curious, like Megadeth is better, but Metallica's song 1 is about like well, it's about a book basically, but it's a book that's about war. Um and they took like pieces of the movie based on the book for the music video. And that's what it's about. Like that is how men, who had issues with it express that. And that's why all of those songs are so fucking good.
Yeah. Um, on the modern tip, even though this is a band that's kind of like considered pretty douchey, especially in the early 2000s, I can't like not appreciate the amount of effort or like the actual sentiment in the song. Five Finger Death Punch, like the Wrong Side of Heaven, is like a really good song, like a really impactful, like feeling
Okay.
song. A little like 2020 with like because they used like a female god reference or whatever in it, but aside from that, like the sentiment, like I appreciate the sentiment and the power behind it.
Yeah, Wolva's got it. Johnny got his gun. It's a really good book. It scared the shit out of me though. It was the
Mm.
first time that I ever thought like, I'm really glad I don't have to go to war. I was like, I will let a man like fight for me any day. Please. You're so
Mm.
much better at it. I'm such a coward.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you. You know what annoyed me about my last relationship? There was a bar fight that happened. Now, granted, I'm the asshole because I got drunk and I got jealous, and I'm the one that fucking picked a bar fight with like six guys at one time. But
Uh-huh.
my thing
Where's the
is
butt?
But my thing is like, look, like my girl didn't even fucking like jump on. She didn't even like put a boot on top of me. You know what I mean? Like because I was super hammered, so like I got in like a handful of punches to like five or six different people, and then I drunkenly fell over, and then I started getting boot stomped. Like at no point did she like go and like try to break up the crowd at all. The bartender saved my ass, not my fucking. This meanwhile, she chewed my ass about that situation, right? 3 weeks later, this woman's a stripper. 3 weeks later, she fucking gets into a fucking stripper fight at work, and like where she didn't even start it. She just fucking they got in the middle between bitches. I'm like, okay, so how many times have you gotten in trouble at work, or cops have come to work and you could have gone to jail, and like you couldn't save my ass when we were like down the block from the house? Like the fuck out of here, woman. I was pissed. Pissed.
Um,
Like,
on
you
the
know what I mean? Like, you
subject,
can't have your man's back. Like, the fuck out of here.
wow, I don't know if I'd be very good at having my man's back because like I'm I'm kind of a wuss. Like I could beat another chick, but I don't know if I would be any help at all because he'd probably be too worried, about
Oh, look,
me getting hurt.
all you would have to do, like, even in that situation, even just play the heroin, like, don't hurt him. No. Like, I did one of those. Like, she didn't even do that shit. She just took, like, a
Aw,
step back and was just like,
go ahead.
while I'm just getting boot stomped. Like, while there's
Oh,
a boot party on my fucking skull, dude.
so
Fuck out of
on the subject of like war heroes, okay?
here.
So at my high school, our sergeant major who was in charge of oh no, it went right out of my head. Crap. What's the high school military thing?
ROTC.
ROTC. Thank you. Jeez. He was in charge of the ROTC in my high school, and he was like, he was a Vietnam vet, and
Mm-hmm.
other things he couldn't even talk about, and he, he was a very intimidating man. The first day I walked into that high school, he was sitting at the door, and he says, "Morning, Lauderdale," and I was like, "Oh my god." Who the fuck are you? He memorized every student coming in
Oh, wow.
from the first day, and he knew everyone's name and what they were doing. Is insane. But one time, I think it was it was 11th grade, so we were juniors. There was this bitch who, for whatever reason, hated me, and it was like a known thing that she was like an enemy of mine or
Okay.
something. It was so dumb. She, and she was
Oh, when
so
that
stupid.
happens, that like changes the scoreboard for like young males when they look at females.
Oh my god.
They're like, oh, she's hated by this. Yeah,
This bitch was so dumb. Like, I swear to God. But she was also a slut. Like, all the dudes wanted to fuck her.
yeah.
Uh, so anyway, he, so we're studying Vietnam in history class. And they're like, okay, we're going to bring in Sergeant Major who was there, right? And this was after we'd gone to the wall.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and, he talks to us and he tells us, like, this is what I can legally tell you. There's a lot of stuff I can't tell you because he was special ops and he was down in South America too. And he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
done. Yeah. He gets done and he's like, does anyone have any questions? And no one has any questions because, oh my God, except her, this fucking bitch. She, she raises her hand and he's like, yes, Chelan, because her name was Chelan, but she
Oh,
spelled it
Jesus Christ.
Cheylan. Okay?
Yeah.
And I swear to God, her question was, did you ever kill any kids in Vietnam?
Oh,
And
oh.
oh my God, the whole class goes, like, I don't think any of us were breathing.
Ready? Yeah, ready for that?
It was
Yeah.
so
Fuck
bad.
out of
But he didn't lose a
He
beat.
didn't lose a step. He
No,
just.
he looked right at her and he said, "Not in Vietnam." Her whole, like, she was really tanned, but I
Yeah.
swear her body turned ghost white and she shut up for the rest of the day. And like after he said that, he just took a beat to stare at her and then looked at the rest of the class and was like, "Any other questions?" And we all shake our heads and he's like, "All right, thank you very much."
My
It was so
ex-wife would ask
crazy.
me stupid fucking questions. I'd just be like, "Woman, just how about you not worry about? How about you just worry about like this thing, like
Just
I
go
haven't."
make dinner, cunt.
No,
Like,
how about no? It's like, how about I've been gone for like 9 months and I need pussy, and like you just need to fucking serve that up, and
there you go. I don't
everything
wanna
else is good. I made all the money, I did all the worth things. I'm back. This is like hero time. This is when
like,
I
I don't
reap my
wanna
reward.
I don't wanna talk about the shit that I did there. Like, why?
We relive fucking Camp Nightmare. Like, why? Why do I like, uh, because you know what? Oh, let me tell you about the best times I had where I did stupid shit like eat bugs to entertain myself, or talk about the most inane things that have ever happened in my life because I've run out of all the other stories, or like watch some kind of like ripped off DVD season of some TV show, or maybe it's a brand new movie, but it's like recorded in a Russian theater, so you have people getting up in
Oh,
front of you,
yeah.
whatever. Right? Like that's like, oh, I get to watch the 5 seasons of the OC. That's the highlight. Oh,
The
and
highlight of my
I got
day.
a care package, so I have some Sour Patch Kids and some fucking canned oysters.
Yay.
Yippee! I took a water bottle shower today. Woo! I was dirty
Yeah.
before I walked back to my tent because we're in the fucking desert and the fucking wind blew sand on me. Like,
You're like, "It
fuck.
wasn't a movie, bitch."
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like out of here with your like question. Your fucking yeah, exactly. What I need to know is like,
Open your legs,
yeah,
like, tits down,
aren't
ass
aren't
up,
you
stop
fucking upset
talking.
about this too though? Like, aren't then don't you like need some dicking after this like term? Like, you're not like deprived. I mean, there were some wives that used to, and I kind of wonder because they probably were the wives that like were cheating because there's a lot of those in the military. But like there would be wives that would have sexually deprived for your freedom or something on like the back of their car window.
Okay.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, "Congratulations, he's out there about to die, but sure."
I got
Your
lots of sand in a lot of places.
your vagina is the most important thing. It's so stupid. God, I hate women. Ah.
Oh, well, my ex-wife on one of my deployments gained 20 pounds because she quit her job and ate Taco Bell. And this is when it was the height of those dollar rolled cheese taco, where it was just literally a tortilla and cheese melted together. She would go with her friend, which was another one of my buddies in the platoon's wives. So she gained like a 20, 30 pounds too. So this was great. We both got to come back home to this. Uh, like just gained a massive amount of weight. Meanwhile, like this is my second deployment. When I came back from my second deployment, I had been lifting weights for 2 cycles now, and like on deployment, you have like combat pay, and so you have extra money. So I was able to like buy all these supplements. Plus, like the whole platoon was buying supplements because like your downtime, you'd run as a Marine, you run to the gym in between shit, right? Like if you're not making a phone call or writing a letter or watching some bullshit DVD, you're in the gym. And so I spent hours and hours in the gym. 2 deployments, first deployment, I come back, I'm 195, I'm cut, I'm fucking, like not even 20, like 25 years old, fucking, nice, but right, but I'm only like 195. I come back from second deployment, I was 215. Like I was professional, like I was cruiserweight, like I was like, Chris Jericho, like at the beginning of his career, like, you know, like like cut like with abs and shit, like I was like I could fucking run and lift weights and stuff. I come back and this bitch like gained 25 pounds from eating Taco Bell. Like the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Like I came back, I brought you money, I brought you more prosperity. After that deployment we bought a house. You know what I mean? Like I declared we're buying a house and I fucking made it happen. We bought a house. Like so I just brought you prosperity and a godlike body from 2 deployments of conditioning, and like this is what you were paying me with. Like you can't even just like be in that basic shape. You know what I mean? Like just basic shape. Shit, dude. Like just not like you know what I mean? Just basic. Like
Yeah.
20 some pounds. Like you gained 20 pounds. 20
You're like
pounds.
you gained like 4 infants while I was gone.
I know we didn't even have kids. Like it wasn't even like you were pregnant or something. Like
That's
it is
another
what
thing.
it
Like
is.
why would you not like keep yourself fit for your man? That's
You
so
have a
weird.
free gym. She was a Marine Corps wife. You know that the one thing that you are supplied with in the Marine Corps are gyms. The base has a ton of gyms on them, and there's all these rules. Like nobody can fuck with a Marine Corps wife. Like nobody in their right mind would like fuck with somebody's wife, right? So like it's not like you're gonna get like made fun of or fucked with or picked on, or you might get hit on like every once in a while to like you tell somebody that you're somebody's wife or whatever. But like that, like worst case scenario, you get hit on. However, like most people are not gonna fuck with you. If anything, they might try to like help you lift weights or something if you're doing something stupid looking, right? So like there was no reason, you know what I mean? Like there's even like free trainers and
Wow.
shit. Like there's all kinds of, there's like classes and shit. It's just,
It's like
it's
you have
just
no excuse, bitch.
yeah, no, none, zero, zero. And you know what? You know what's even more insulting is I paid for a personal trainer at 24-hour fitness for her while I fucking was on that
Oh
deployment.
my god. Wow.
You
That
know what I mean? Like you would think like you'd maintain weight, right? Like I only spent like a couple extra $100 a month like on your ass for the 9 months while I'm getting jacked, eating fucking the most miserable. Like the celebration food in Iraq and like Afghanistan is bullshit. Like okay, when you get steaks, when they send steaks to the military to Iraq and Afghanistan or any
they're
kind of
like
place like
the
that.
old steaks, aren't they?
No, no, no. They're grade E. Grade E
Yeah.
meaning that they are literally only allowed to be sold. They're not even allowed to be sold. They're only allowed to be consumed by the military and prisoners.
Well, I mean,
They can't
when
sell them to you in public. These steaks are so low grade. They're so low cut and so low grade and so bad of meat that they are literally not allowed to sell them to the public of America.
well, I mean, when you're in the military, the government owns you. Like they
Yes, they
own
do.
your body.
And they feed you dog shit.
Yeah.
MREs are terrible. Did you know that MREs can last for like 8 years?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of MREs in my garage right now.
Mm. Open them up and open one of them up that has M&Ms in it and see like if it's a 6-year-old one, see how what the shape. You know how many MREs I opened up in Iraq like that fucking they were old. They were from like fucking like I said this is like 2006 or 2008 between somewhere in there. Fucking open up a bag of M&Ms. The shit's from like 1990 something and they're all M&Ms are dust. I don't even get fucking, you know what I mean? I just get dust. I get M&M dust. Not even
Hmm.
cruddy chocolate. And like new MREs don't have cigarettes in them. At least in World War II, they had cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Curious is saying women are never satisfied. I disagree. If
Uh,
you if you
you can satisfy a
if you
woman.
set your woman up and you just spank the crap out of her like once a month at least, or whenever she does something stupid, you just fucking spank her. Some women need more. Get out the like uh cane.
Like, some women need some Singapore style treatment.
Yeah,
Do you
absolutely.
remember that shit from the 90s? That kid that spray painted that shit in Singapore, and they like America had to negotiate him from being like put to death or some shit because their rules are so hardcore over there. Like I think they negotiated down to like 9 lashings with a fucking cane. It was like 17
Wow.
or something. Like
No.
public square, like take a cane and just beat the shit out of it. But like we're talking the kendo sticks that like rip skin open.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, over some spray paint. Could you imagine spray
Yeah,
paint?
curious. The rule of thumb every now and then. Exactly, but don't let her choose.
The rule of thumb. Oh, fuck. I think that is that Alabama or Tennessee that still has the rule that you can like beat your wife once a month with a rod, no fucking thicker than your pinky and no longer than something like your
I
arm
don't
or
know.
something like that, like once
I
a month.
I do know that like any woman who says she doesn't need a spanking or doesn't want it, all she needs is to get it once, and
Once
then
and
she'll be
then
like, "Yes,
change your
sir.
attitude.
Absolutely, sir. Anything you want, sir.
Well,
I
look,
will make you dinner tonight, sir."
so me and my buddy, we do like internet lore when we're doing the main show, right? And we happened upon we were like looking up Tweakerville stuff because he, his main birthplace. He's traveled a lot around America because of his childhood or whatever. But his mainstay was like Everett, Washington, and they have like this whole like meth town like area, right? And in fact, like there's like there was like a big famous YouTube like thing about it where they're like streaming it 24/7, and like it got to this thing where like people were like voicing over characters and shit. Whatever. We were looking over it and we found this hippie chick, and like you watch this very first video, right? And she's like obviously still living at home or something, or just like recently left home, like still like somewhat normal, like had a some kind of normal. She's like playing the piano with two hands, right? Like playing two different pianos ambidextrously. Not very well, but she's doing it, right? And then you just fast forward, and all of a sudden, there are 5 videos, like we're several years forward, and she's a hippie chick, and she lived in like Slab City in California, and she is like doing videos where she has a discussion with you while she's taking a shit in a porta john. And not only is she taking a shit in a
Ew.
porta john, but she's actually sitting on the seat. And I don't know any fucking woman that is not a savage that sits on a fucking porta john toilet seat. All women hover on porta johns. And then not on top of that, not only is that, but you can hear her shit. Like she actually records the sounds of it.
Why are you telling me this?
This is what I'm just telling you. This is what happens when you like let women run wild. Like the whole like selfish like hippie thing. This is what happens when you don't spank women. They shit on porta
Exactly.
johns and videotape it.
Exactly. Or they go on the Jack show and pee like for the internet. Like,
You know what though? I find her far more attractive than Witten. Witten is just like a complete thought. You know what I mean? Like
all of it.
she just
All
does
of it.
like the. I used to find that more attractive when I was younger, but now that I
No,
understand like the damage that comes behind it, like I don't like it.
if you have a man who will spank you every once in a while or slap you or whatever, you won't be doing any of that shit online. You won't have an OnlyFans. You won't be going on YouTube and peeing in front of everyone. Like, You just
No,
won't do
no,
it.
no, no, no. You just won't like no. You let things escalate. Like fucking like no. Women will always escalate things, especially when it comes to trauma. So like it might start out as a stripper, and it could go to like porn star or hooker, or it could go to like oil wrestler, and then it could go into like doing weird OnlyFans fetish things where they're like doing weird things with cucks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like yeah, like where they're like banging some dude out with a strap on while he's wearing a penis kit. Like,
Oh yeah, what's that like porn site where you can upload your own porn?
well, OnlyFans is one of them. I mean, you can do
No.
it on
Oh,
X
Pornhub.
video. Oh, Pornhub. Yeah, you can do it on Pornhub,
Oh,
X video.
yeah.
I mean, you could just be doxxed and put on X video, like some people.
What?
Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
yeah. Well, I play in different parts of the internet, and I may or may not be on X video. May or may
Oh
not
yeah.
because of my exploits. This is why you can't trust women on the internet. They're crazy, especially women from Florida. I
Wait,
don't even know why I trusted a woman from Florida on the
you
internet.
have
Why
like
would
revenge porn on
I?
the internet?
Yes, ma'am. I
Oh
actually have
man.
a revenge porn T-shirt. There's a TeeSpring site that has photoshopped version of a nude of me, like they did of headdress and some other stuff or whatever. Um, but yeah, like the torso, the face or whatever. That's the nude me. First sale to the internet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
The revenge porn that one of my exes did on me, you'd get arrested if you tried to do that. Because
Uh,
technically I was 17.
oh, that. Oh.
And he put it on 4chan. But this is like in 2004, so it's probably not out there anymore.
Yeah, probably not. And thank God, like I wouldn't want to see a 17-year-old you. Although, okay, there is something interesting there. I think that like being a woman, the one thing, like one of the advantages of being a woman is like women have very beautiful bodies, and like that is something like I feel like that is something like you can take a picture of yourself nude and appreciate that like decades later much more than men can
Yeah,
if you take
that
care of
that's
yourself.
true. Women are nicer to look at naked than men. That's true.
So, like 99, yeah, without like extreme like grooming and stuff. Like no, men look horrible naked. I mean, even if you're in shape, like there's just like we just have hair places.
Well, and like wieners, if they're just
They're shaped
they
oddly.
just look so weird.
No,
Sometimes
yeah,
it's
no.
weird. I
Well,
mean,
vaginas
but
you can like tuck up unless it's like Dumbo or something. But like for the most part, you can tuck a chick can tuck her shit up and like so it's like even though vaginas vary a lot, it's not as like obtuse as a penis that just sticks out. That's a long object that's just
it's like
wagging.
where do I put this? Even like the one Playgirl issue that I've seen, which is the one with Peter Steele.
hmm
Even that, it's like, all right, that's cool, but still, like, it was weird. I tried to draw a naked guy,
Mm.
and I was like, how do I draw a penis?
How do I draw a penis? I don't, you
How
know
do I
what?
how do I
Uh,
draw it without it looking like
Like a
weird?
cartoon character because like everybody wants to draw cartoon penises. Like it's just
Yeah.
like your natural.
It was so weird. In the end, like I sort of did it, and you
I,
can.
re- you know what? I want to like that would be a good documentary. The like a documentary on someone who drew serious penis portraits, who seriously documented, like was a very like a really like a Renaissance style artist that just drew penises, right? Like they like live sketched all different and just had a compendium of like 3,000 penises that they had
Oh my
sketched or
god.
something. Oh, did you know that you can order chocolate buttholes from
Oh
England?
my god, shut up. No.
Yeah,
Don't
they
tell
have
me that.
actual actress molded buttholes. They're
Don't
chocolate kisses.
I don't I don't want to know that.
You don't have an urge to have your butthole molded and made into a chocolate format that you could give to your lover? Like, it's not a thing for you?
No.
No, she's like, no, no, never.
That sounds.
Oh no, I
I
just think
mean,
the
I
guy that
don't like.
invented
I
it
don't.
like just liked buttholes and liked women's buttholes, and so he just figured out a way to like be in a bunch of buttholes. He's like, I just have to mold your ass, so just let me mold your butthole real quick. Let me spread some latex up in there, get a good fit or whatever, and then we'll go ahead and make these chocolate kisses.
Well, I think chocolate is gross in the first place, but that just sounds fucking awful. I
Mm.
present to you Phallicus, says Kieran.
Ali, I would love. Oh my God, I don't know that. You know what? If you put it on Kickstarter, if you put a, pi- I feel like you might
I
be able to
I
do this.
I won't do
You,
Kickstarter.
you might make $200,000 though. Like, like
What?
if you did a penis sketchbook, a feminist penis
Oh
sketchbook.
my god.
Like if you played a role, like if you made up a character, right, and you put on like a beret and shit, and you acted like feminist alley, and
Oh my
like
god.
was gonna make a penis book where you're like, "These are 3,000 examples of how men are worthless." I bet you would sell like 200,000. It'd be the most ridiculous, like 4chan style troll ever.
uh No, are you talking about Ethot Alley?
Mm. No, I love Ethot Alley. I'm just sitting there, I'm adding more alley. The more like I think that there could be a Spider Verse of alleys.
There's the Ethot Alley.
Ethot Alley did not make it into the thumbnail. I didn't find a good proper picture of Ethot Alley for the thumbnail.
Give me $5, you worthless loser. If you can't give me $5, then what the fuck good are you for? Where's my cat so I can throw it across the room?
Oh my God! Like I have actually watched some of these ethot chicks like act like do like mock like mentally retarded people. Like, what are you and then like do some retarded noise and be like a virgin or something. And like I was like, damn, bitch! Like, and then like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Give me your rent money, you stupid cock. Give it to me. You're worthless. Oh my god, pay me $10,000 and I'll take my picture with you. Ah, ooh woo. Ooh woo.
Would you like my bathwater? Like I'm totally taking a bath right now, guys. That's one of
Yeah.
my favorite streams when the chicks are in the bathing suits taking baths and they're like, buy my bathwater.
I said I said that when I hit like 1,000 subs on my or no, 10,000 subs on my YouTube, then I'll have Ethot Alley do a stream in my pool.
And that'd be okay. Do you have just the pool, or do you have the hot tub? Can we do like an after dark edition, like
No, I don't.
Playboy TV style?
I have a pool in my backyard, but it would be Ethot Alley. It would not be Alley Alley.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like Ethot Alley, I feel like she should do the full like Hugh Hefner presentation, like back in the day, Playboy TV.
Yeah, it would not be Alley Alley. Alley Alley likes to write and will I mean I used to model, but I'm not gonna do that now. I want people to focus on my books.
True. No one. This is
216.
true. No one knows what I'm saying. These are. I mean, this stream's been fueled by Mad Dog 2020. You know, and pure emotion and the greatness that is Ali Sanguis, who you can check out's project in the description. We have everything from IndieGoGo to the Etsy store. Etsy is the place to be. It will help fund the book and it will help get it in your hands that much sooner because Allie's not a slacker. She's not going to present a book to you and take 10 months to draw it after she's funded it. She's going to have that book ready for you and then we're gonna be rocking and rolling. It's gonna be your hands before you know it.
That's the idea. Um oh yeah, I almost forgot. So you know how I was in that CG WWE thing?
Yes. Oh yes, the Royal Rumble 6x6 comic shout out to 6x6 with the Royal Rumble, the CG, the Comicscape Royal Rumble. If you haven't seen it, you need to check out those hashtags. Look that up on Twitter, find it on YouTube, and watch the Royal Rumble. Ali is one of the madams that was in the Rumble. You took like third or something like that in the overall.
I don't
Uh,
I don't think that it was that kind of thing. It was just whichever chick pinned someone first. So we were all of us who didn't pin someone were technically all losers, but
Well, I
we
mean
were
that's how the Rumble works.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
big elimination game. Well,
Well,
I heard you
the
did damage
women's
to Shay the Red. I heard that you just like stomped on Shay.
um no, I don't think her and I fought. I mostly fought Charlie's London.
Oh.
Um I don't think Shay and I fought on there, but but it was fun to watch because I did like everybody that I was fighting, I just stomped on. And apparently I was the only like chick who was talking shit like for for a month beforehand. I was just like, I'm gonna dominate all of you. Like I'm a professional rapist.
Oh, what did
Come
you
and see.
say? What did you say? You're gonna be like bleeding black or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
bleed them
yeah,
black and let
yeah.
me
You're gonna bleed him black. I was like, yeah. I was fucking
I
like, fuck yeah, fucking tell the bitch. Because the rest of them were all like, oh honey, like whatever happens, it'll be cute. And then you're like,
no, no,
I'll
no.
fucking bleed you.
I
Fucking
was like,
don't.
your passport to the exsanguination is pain.
Welcome to the passport of pain.
Yeah. Uh and then I was like, man, if I were actually on there, in the WWE, I was like my song would be Black Number 1, typo negative, and it would start at like this time and I put it up there.
Hmm.
And I was like, I need a catchphrase to put on a t-shirt. So I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool. Because Sanguis means blood. I was like, I'll bleed them black, after I dye my roots, you know.
That's right. Oh my god. No,
So
but
I
it's
mean,
fitting because of the comic book thing. Like you're gonna bleed the ink out of these bitches. Like,
oh
no.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not the artist of Egg Beater or anything, but I made T-shirts and 6
Well,
a.m.
depending on
Comics
who.
like bought one. He bought one of my T-shirts.
I was gonna say, depending on who you fucking buy a book from, they may or may not be the artist or writer for that book either. Just saying, word on the street.
Oh dear.
And
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. No, I made a T-shirt for my CGWWE time, and 6 a.m. Comics bought one, and he wore it for the Rumble.
nice,
And then
man.
when I didn't win, he was like, "I want my money back."
Now, I had a hot 20 on you. I was thinking, you never know.
Really?
Pick the pony.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, I always bet. No, but see, there's side bets. Like, there's all kinds of way to make money. You know, all kinds of way to make money. Yeah, there's pins, whatnot. There's still a ranking. Like, yeah, technically everybody who is like the last one that gets thrown out of the ring that isn't pinned or whatever is the loser. However, there is like an overall rank. Like how long when you came in, like when you came on into the ring, and then like when you get eliminated, it does kind of like give you a ranking in the overall rumble setting.
Yeah, just all the other women were kind of eliminated at the same time, so but we actually it was kind of funny because the person who won was not someone that like anybody thought would win.
Mm.
So we were actually all kind of okay with it. I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, good for you, Celine. Like, nice." It was funny, but I did like I beat who was it? I think 6 a.m. Comics said she's beating the black and white out of Charlie's London.
There we go. Charlie's London. She did a very interesting, cool kind of book. But she actually got the whole backing from the Chaplin family, which is pretty nifty.
Yeah. Curious. I don't know. I don't think I ranked because it was just a just all of us like in one thing, and we all beat each other up until one person was the first person to pin someone.
Silly woman. This is not how okay. This is why wrestling is a man thing.
That's fair.
Like there is a ranking. Like it really depends. Like when you what were you? What seed were you? What wrestler were you when you came in?
What do you mean?
What order? What was your number? Were
Oh,
you number one, number two, number three, number
I
23?
don't I don't know. I think I was third or fourth to come into the
Okay.
ring.
And then when we were eliminated, so these are the factors, right? Like
We
that's how you
no,
judge a rumble.
we were all like all the women except one were eliminated at the same time.
Well, then if you came in third and like the number 20 seat was eliminated at the same time as you,
There
that means you
there
did
were
better.
there were only
Well,
eight
I'm just,
women, I think.
but you get what I'm saying, right? Like if the last woman gets eliminated the same time that you get eliminated and you're number three, that means you did better than her because she was in the ring less time before she got beat up.
They didn't start it until we were all in the ring.
Mm,
He
mm.
6 a.m. wanted to make it like as even as possible, so we all had the same stats.
Oh, so you didn't do you didn't do the regular Royal Rumble. It was just like a full
Yeah.
women's. It was like a big match. Okay, it wasn't a
Well,
Royal Rumble.
even with
Came.
like the men, he gave them all the same stats too, because he wanted it to be as random as possible.
Mm, mm, mm.
Which is fine. Like, I get it.
Fuck that. Fuck random stats. Make a judgment. Grab your testicles. Be like, I feel like this is what Mandy has. This is what fucking Allie has. Like, mm, mm, mm. I
Yeah,
feel like that feels like a B Rose move. I wanna I'm gonna I'm
could
just gonna
be.
bust his fucking balls. Feel like Oliver
Um,
would have made a more solid decision, but like somehow
I
B Rose like weaseled his way in there and was like, no, just make it random.
I was the only one who like I wanted to have Black Number One as my song, but obviously they couldn't because it's copyrighted.
Mm.
So I sent him a song that I made,
Oh,
and that's what I walked into. And I was really proud of it. It's like I'm gonna watch this so many times. This is so weird. Eugene needs
six
to watch
five
it.
six comments. I think we'll have to drop a link. I'll add that to the description. We will add the Royal Rumble link to that after the
No,
show.
6 a.m. comics.
6 a.m. comics. Or, well, 6
Yeah.
a.m. comics. We'll add that in the description. I know I have it on Twitter, so I will find it and I will put it in there. And you know, the Rumble. Everybody can watch the glory of the fucking Rumble.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. They were funny. I asked him if that was like my last time. I was like, "Are you gonna be using new people next time?" Because there's only like 15 chicks, in
Yeah.
comics game.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, we'll have new people, but we're gonna bring the old people back." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, you are! I want to do this
Oh
every
yeah, but
day."
you get to be the class one. You get to be the OG. You know what I mean? That's the real ticket there.
I can play the song, but only if he's okay with it. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
very
we play.
long.
Yeah, play whatever you want to play.
Let me go pull it out here. Excuse me while I whip this out.
That's what. Jesus, if she said that, that's a problem.
It was it was a
A
quote.
ma'am.
It was a quote.
Mm. I was gonna say like if she says something about whipping it out, then it must be a ma'am.
It is ma'am.
I had never seen a man beat the shit out of something in a fucking game store. Only a dude gets that mad at a video game store. You know what I
I
mean? Like I know some gamer nerd girls, but I ain't never seen a chick fucking like maybe throw a tantrum. Like if you said if that dude would have went down on the ground and started kicking and screaming and like maybe tossing some shit around, I'd been like, that's okay, that's a chick reaction. But like, I'll beat your ass. Like, Jesus Christ. Holy shit. You're like 10 times the size of the guy behind the counter. Holy fuck. All right, let's add this to the stream.
All right, so I made this for the upcoming trailer for my fantasy book, which is called Rotting Crown. Um, and like 6 a.m. Comics was like, "Do you have anything I could do?" So yeah, this was what I sent him. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So, what did you build that off of? Fruity Loops or like Reason?
No, I didn't use Fruity Loops. It's just it's just a random like thing I found on the internet. What the hell is
Hmm.
it called? Loop Labs, I think.
Okay.
They're not around anymore, which kind of sucks, but there's another one I found, but yeah, it was
Well, we
supposed to
can
have.
talk offline, but I can always hook you up with some producers and with some people that can teach you if you wanted to do like Reason or something.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool. I thank you for the cool title, Curious. I worked really hard on it. um, it went through like 3 different titles actually. My fantasy novel, but excuse me. So yeah.
So, have you ever been into like any role playing games like Dungeons Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, any of that kind of stuff? Like, or
I've played some D&D and some Vampire, um, but not recently.
Mhm.
I used to do Dagger here quite a bit, um, which is like foam swords. Basically, you go out. It's based off Lord of
Oh,
the
the
Rings and
LARPing.
yeah, LARPing like that. Um, but when I was doing it, it wasn't what it is today. Like it
It
wasn't as
wasn't a bunch of nerds beating each other with foam swords.
well. No, it obviously was, but
She's like, no, it definitely was that.
now it's like really popular, and you're like cool if you do it. Um, but then it was like straight up just a bunch of, geeky guys and then like me.
Mhm.
um, so I didn't go to like the events or anything because uh a lot of the guys were not like the greatest people. Um, so like at Ragnarok, which is like the big dagger here like gathering
Mhm.
every year. It's changed since then, but when it was in like the 2000s, early 2000s, they would have Sin Night, and that was in the middle of the week, and like everybody would just get wasted and do drugs, um, and like act like it was the Middle Ages. So like a lot of these dudes just like fucked anything,
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's just, yeah, makes sense.
and if you're a woman there, you're gonna have to be prepared to deal with those consequences, which is why I never went.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why would I want to go and put myself in that position and then like be surprised if something happens? So I just went like on Sundays to the, a couple hours of practice.
She's like, I went to, the I went to the PG times. We
Yeah.
kept it kosher here.
Well, and then like oh my God, every once in a while there'd be a chick who was like, "Oh, this would be awesome, I'll go fight and it'll be cool." And then they'd say, "I'm gonna go to this battle, or I'm gonna go to Ragnarok," and I'm like, "Don't fucking do it, bitch. Don't do it." And then they would do it, and they'd come back and they'd be like, "This happened to me," and I'd be like, "Yeah, well, fucking, I told you." Like, you're gonna come back and whine at me that what I told you would happen happened? Shut
Mm.
up.
You
Go
know
get
what's great
go
about
get
Allie is
therapy or something.
you can get all these opinions and you can hear more on her YouTube channel. She is on many platforms. She is on YouTube at Ali Sanguis. She is on Twitter at Ali Sanguis. You can find Egg Beater, her project, on IndieGoGo. You can find her book Wild Man on Amazon. If you want like an e-reader version, but if you want a signed in your hand, like a good copy, then you go to the Etsy store where you can find other amazing crafts that she does that funds Egg Beater. And all these links are available in the description.
Yes, he very kindly did that. Sweet dreams, but if you dream about your spouse cheating on you, remember it's only a dream.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, women,
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
it's just a truth. No, like women will get violent. I've like this is like not an uncommon phenomenon for a woman to punish a man for something that he, fictitiously did to her. Which is like terrible because like we're bumbling as it is. Like we don't need any help, fucking up things.
Well, no, it's like men are thinking about things that women don't even understand that they're thinking about. Like men are thinking about higher things. I, the, the things that men are thinking about are like, the world is on my shoulders. How do I keep it up?
Yeah, it's true.
Women are just like, what color should I paint my nails, dear? And he's like, I don't fucking know. I'm trying not to destroy the world. Like, fuck off. Does this make my
Whatever
butt
makes
look
you happy.
big? Like, I don't know, bitch. I'm trying to figure out what we're eating next month. Shut up.
No,
Fuck's
your
sake.
butt makes it look like this is what I tell. Like, look, if
Your
I'm not
butt
gonna say
makes your butt
anything,
look big.
yeah. Like whatever. If you think something looks big, it's just because it's big. It has nothing to do with the clothing or the cut or any of that mess. It's just big. I'm sorry. Just to be blunt, we'll just
And
cut out the middleman here. It's just big. So I
and
don't
then it's
know.
like either deal with it or
Yeah.
like fix it. These are your options.
Yeah, like, well, I didn't bitch about it, so you can either deal with it. If it bothers you that much, you can deal with it, or you can buy a different cut of pants. I don't know.
Like, I
Something,
don't
whatever.
care. I'm busy trying to focus on how the world literally depends on my every move.
I'll let you know when too much is too much. I mean, and this is the thing, and here's one thing I will agree with Lola on when we're talking about ladies and men in relationships. Your body weight does affect your penetration level, and so the more in shape you and your partner are, the more effective you're able to use both your vagina and penis.
That's true.
These are just facts. So
Yeah.
I mean, better shape. And my overarching thing is, like, feel like have fun. I don't not eat ice cream. Don't not eat the elephant. Don't not have fun here and there. My thing is just, have some consideration for your partner. At some point you're going to be 65. So if you're carrying a little extra weight now, make sure you're not carrying too much later. And also maybe, I don't know, make sure you have a little bit of muscle mass. Like even if you're a woman, like little like 3 pound hound like house weight or something. Because like
Well,
at
like
least to be able to carry a gallon of milk or some shit at least till you're 70.
the
Because you're a
lean,
team.
the lean, like feminine muscle.
Yeah, no, I'm not
There's
talking about. I'm just saying like functional strength for like doing shit like cooking and shit like you know what I mean. Like if I have to work till I'm 96, especially in this climate and economy that exists currently for us to retire, can you like do the laundry and make some meals while I'm doing this shit? That's it's fair trade.
exactly. No, there's this old uh magazine article that was circulating that was like how to please your husband or something from like the 50s. And
Oh, it's amazing.
yeah, it absolutely 100% made sense, but the feminists who read it are like, "You're not his slave." And it's like, "Well, I mean, why not? Why am how am I not his slave? How is that better? Or how is that not better than like the added stress of trying to do everything,
Of being
or
in charge of everything,
of
because that's the
yeah.
trade-off. Like, yeah, like,
Oh
oh,
my
he's in
god.
charge. Like, oh, he's in charge of everything. Yeah, he's in charge of everything. You know what
Yeah, it's
comes with being
fucking
in charge
great.
of everything? You have to deal with being in charge. Like, you're like, oh, I have to make sure we have enough money for everybody to eat. I have to make sure we have enough money for everybody to have clothes. Oh, I got sick this week, like if I don't have like Aflac insurance or some, you know what I mean, or like
Yeah, and if
vacation time, like now I got to figure out how I'm going to make the money up because like you know I'm fucking paying for
and
everything.
if the trade-off is like, sometimes I uh vacuum, with lingerie on, or sometimes I'm human furniture for him to put his feet up on. Like that's an excellent trade-off. I'm totally okay with that.
It's like I have to think about nothing, no stress. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
managing money is terrible. Like Bill, I hate Bill. Even if you have money, it doesn't even matter if you're like struggling or if you're good. Like paying bills is just obnoxious and annoying, and it's something you have to keep track of, and
Well,
credit scores, and
that's one thing. So my grandparents have been married for 63 years,
hmm
and their thing has always been where my grandpa works, he makes all the money, and then he would come home and then give it to her, and then she spends it. However,
hmm
she budgeted spending it.
yeah,
So he had nothing to think about when he got home. It was just, this is my home in which I relax. I work hard for my home. I go home, and she makes it so that I can be comfortable and happy in my home. And I don't have to think about all that stuff. And it used to be that way. And
yeah,
for 63 years, my grandma has kept the books, and for 63 years, my grandpa worked, and it like their marriage is perfect.
yeah.
And I'm like, that works, that makes sense. He obviously, you would look over, like, did you do your math right? Like, you're not spending money on stupid stuff. And she had like a side thing for spending money. She cut
Mhm.
women's hair and did like makeup on dead people. So uh
There you go.
yeah, so like it wasn't even that she would have to, ask him for money, but like obviously she had it better, you know?
Yeah.
And it works out so much better that way. I don't understand why women are so
She had money to do extra things, but she didn't have to worry like is the electric gonna be on? Are we gonna have food for
exactly.
money? Like are we gonna have like food? Are we gonna like do we
Yeah,
have a house? Like no, like all that
so
shit
she
was
could
there.
she could buy, a dress or whatever, and that was with her extra money, but all the other money that that my grandpa brought home was, the stuff that went into the budget. And I'm like, that's perfect. That's the perfect marriage, which is why they've been together for 63 years.
Yeah.
That's twice the amount that I've been alive.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I wish, oh God, I let my first wife run the books and she was cooking them. So it was like a mafia operation.
oh my
It was,
god.
and here's the thing, her mother was cooking books too, like with her father. Like, oh my God, like we were there
Wow.
was, I was living a different lifestyle that I shouldn't have been living on some things because, well, I can't say I was, she was living a different lifestyle than what our budget would have afforded. Not that she would have had a bad life on my budget, she just didn't like it.
Sure.
And that's where like I came from Ohio, so like when I was in the Marine Corps and like gaining rank on a relatively like expeditious like rate, and like I have health insurance completely paid for and all this other stuff, and I'm sitting there like doing all the math. In my head, I'm doing great, but I married like a sorority chick who was like third generation oil money. So like
Mm.
to her, like Like, you could be doing better or whatever, right? So she cooked the
Oh,
books. She could cook the books, and she had a credit card like the entire time we were married that like was like tied to her dad's American Express or whatever. So I don't know. She bought a lot of shit for herself with that stuff. So after that, and the amount of debt like she put me in, like on credit cards and stuff, like now I pay attention to the bills no matter what. Like I will never not pay attention to the money again because I will never
sure.
financially be put in that position again.
No,
But
that
yeah,
makes
no,
sense.
I would love though to like be able to like have a woman that would like run the books and like be able to just with my newfound knowledge look at the books, make sure that they're correct, and like not have to do the day to day chores on it. That would be
Yeah.
completely excellent.
Well, that article, like, if every chick read it, I think they would benefit. But also, I found another one that was like exercises to do while you're cleaning the house.
Yeah, like function. Yeah, again,
Yeah,
functional knowledge
yeah. So
for
like,
family building.
here's how to move when you're like, I don't know, planting plants, and here's how to move when you're vacuuming, and here are exercises to do when you're like doing the dishes and stuff. And I was like,
you
this is
know,
freaking awesome.
You know why that fell out of fashion? Because the government has replaced like has become the competitor against the male. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean?
the
It's like it's alpha
husband. Yeah.
it's alpha male versus the government, and like sometimes it's hard, especially when it's the second time around, right? Like woman's already been jerked around before by some dude, maybe two dudes, maybe three dudes, and you come across her, right? And she had a rough way, and like now she has government benefit. Like she got whatever into whatever programs. She finally got everything straight. She's got her kids on a level field. She's doing well for herself, and it's like it's
Yeah,
it's like it's a real
incent.
fucking hard for her to like switch over and go and trust you and go like after three times of getting fucked over. Oh, I should trust you and give up all this stuff that I have that makes my life stable.
Yeah, it incentivizes single motherhood. It incentivizes people not getting married. It's pretty fucked up. But in the long run, like it's better, especially if you can do it. Oh my god, we've been live for 3 hours.
This is true. We can wrap up at any time, ma'am. I do appreciate your time. You are the longest running episode.
Well, I mean, we can both talk a lot, so.
I've had an absolute great time. We can wrap it up, but before we do that, let's run through everything real quick.
Okay.
So share screen, Brave tabs, and so let's start with Egg Beater on IndieGoGo. So the link is in the description, but you just go right here and you click I agree to the terms of service, and then you put your email address in here. You don't have to click this one. This one's stupid.
Mhm.
You hit this, and then it sends you an email. Now here's the important part. Send you an email. You gotta check your email and click I accept or I acknowledge that I want emails from this campaign. Otherwise, you won't get the secret link, and then you don't get the card because you didn't accept the emails from the campaign. So this is a two-step process. You gotta sign up, and then you gotta hit the exception email that'll come to you from IndieGoGo. This is very important. Let's see. Then we have share screen, create tabs. You can check Ali out on her YouTube, where you can see the Ali and Hockey show.
Oh my
This
god,
is
what kind of sociopath doesn't use dark mode?
uh, I don't know. I guess I
Like
don't.
me.
Me, I don't know. I use Brave browser and stuff too, so like it makes it funky with StreamLabs, but it protects my stuff.
Yeah, every Saturday I have the Alien Hockey Show. Um, where we usually look at silly stuff, but sometimes we'll read like a bad comic. Um, tomorrow though, I'm gonna be on there making fun of kids, so
Boom.
that'll be fun.
You can also check out Ali's store here.
Yeah, that's my TeeSpring. My Etsy is different though.
She also has an Etsy. These are all these links, including the Etsy, are in the description.
Yeah, and
But
I
just for
have I ordered the Routing Crown mug and the T-shirt,
oh
and I was like, this is amazing,
yeah.
having my own thing. I was like, I don't even
uh,
know why I'm so excited to have this, but I am.
oh, we'll have to talk offline. I think we need to get you a printful store, especially if you're already running off of Etsy.
That's what my Etsy is connected to, is the Printful. It's
Oh, okay.
a different thing.
There we go. Because that's where the high quality merch is.
Yeah, yeah. I made the Teespring before I knew about Printful.
Hmm. Let's
Probably
see.
I might delete the Teespring at some point because Printful is better, and they had an apron, so I was like,
Yeah.
we need an apron.
Well, I mean, egg beater, definitely.
Exactly. Yes, Michael T. Episode 3 tomorrow, and Clayton Barton said he would be on. So, oh my god, we're so like, oh, oh my god, we're not PC in any possible way, making fun of these like Star Wars children.
Hmm.
I don't.
Terrible. You're just acting completely terrible.
It's
I don't know.
awful.
Maybe one of these times I'll be able to join you. I always enjoy being in the chat. However,
There it is.
there
Yeah.
is the Etsy store right there.
Yeah.
Again, you will find this link in the description because that's how we do here. But you can get the embroidered apron, which is
Mhm.
pretty sweet. Yeah. If
The
Jersey Girl is in the chat, or if you used this earlier, she's one of our bigger supporters. Hey girl, maybe you wanna model this. You know, hashtag 8 beater. What?
yeah, the book I have let me see. 5, 10. Yeah, I've got 15 copies on hand right now. I send it packaged really well. Like I sign it, I send it packaged really well. I've gotten positive well, only 2 people have bought it, but they've both
Hmm.
said like they were
Oh,
really
you know
happy.
what? Here's something that needs to be said. If you thought Allie was an amazing person tonight, if you really appreciated her appearance, I think that you should take the time. If you have a Amazon subscription, you have Amazon Prime, and you got a free book or whatever, you could always download Wild Man, and while you're at it, you could always leave some positive feedback because there's like one or two angry people who left a
Oh,
stupid comment.
I don't have the digital available on Amazon anymore.
Uh, well, you can buy the physical copy just to back her up, and or you just you're subscribed and you can get in there and you can, like leave some feedback that is positive because
No, that was funny. Just 2 people who like were trolling because they didn't like that I said that Amelia Clark's book sucked, and I also said that she does not have a an hourglass shaped body. And so they wrote me and they were like, I'm gonna review bomb every book you make.
Hmm,
You're probably a shit writer. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then
look
they
at it.
went and did like 2 poor reviews. So I was like, whatever, I don't care. It's funny. But it did go from a 5-star book to like a 3.5-star book.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you got the time, you got the inclination. Go ahead and give Ali a shout out because that's the important thing. Also, hit the like, share, and if you want to continue to watch more interviews and possibly see Ali here in the future, hit the subscribe button. You
Yeah,
know,
maybe sometime I'll eat 3 pounds of bacon on stream. It'll be great.
maybe you'll do that. Maybe you'll see me again. Maybe we'll watch another terrible movie and make comments on it. You never know. It gets wild on the interwebs. But Ali, it's been a great time. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate you coming on. You've been a wonderful guest. You've been
Well,
very
thank you
talkative.
for having me on. It was fun. It was
Uh,
long. Wow.
well, I mean, you made it easy.
Oh,
That's
ouch. I'm hurt.
what that I appreciate you so much.
You made it easy.
You made it easy to talk to. I mean, I couldn't.
Mhm.
It's like the time flew by. I would never imagine that. I would have been able to like hold your attention for so long. But here we are.
Yeah, well, thank you, everyone. I'm gonna go to bed and stuff.
All right. With that, we're going to give it a goodbye, and I will. Where's my thing? Where's my thing? There's my thing. We're going to switch brands. Outcast Owls, and see you guys on the flip side when I find something to click on. This one. One. That wasn't the one.
The owl here, the Outcast Owls, Kingdom Challenges.